Santa Monica, San Francisco, Philadelphia, New York City. Those are just a few of the places people are traveling into town to see the Deadites, the Curtain Society, and Teeel at the 3-for-All. What's your fucking excuse? Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome to episode 95 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio's phantasmagorical spin kick straight through the heart of pop culture is navigated by the Deadites.
The irony is what he doesn't know is that's how he sounds to us every week.
Deadites, the world's greatest electroshock band. We destroy monsters,
we drink booze,
we win championship belts, and we've been known to be sick and tired from time to time.
Or tired and sick. Whatever you choose.
Man, everyone, the mood here in the studio is way down this week.
Yeah, what the fuck, you guys?
Yeah.
This is the best Cheez-Its I ever had.
Yeah. Were any blow in the back?
Blow?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It rhymes with Moke Cane.
Rogaine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could use either right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just make sure you snort the right one, okay?
Just saying, let's get
Otherwise,
fired
you're
up.
going to have hair growing out of your nose, and you're not going to be able to stop it.
You'll be like Medusa from the Inhumans. The living hair that's going to
And
get
your
you.
hair will look like Yahoo Serious.
That's a fucking show.
Ooh. So, here we are.
Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
Snowpiercer. Let's talk about that film. Let's
Trick.
get out of the way right now. No. Ravenshadow's looking for some vacation.
Yeah.
That's what the SL said. Is that what you're looking for?
Is that... I'm not...
You still haven't explained this, and I don't think I want to even ask.
Dude, no, I mean, you want to... Yeah, I mean... It wasn't
It was
blow,
the topic of the conversation when Dynamo and I were in New York this
City.
weekend.
My,
New York City.
my special lady friend came up with an explanation that is so preposterous.
Hit it. I'm curious. I'll see how far she
She
is on
said
the accuracy.
you, because of your Percocets.
No, it rhymed with Vicodin.
Oh, sorry. You went so long that it hurt your ding dong. To which Johnny Wolfenstein and I got kicked a few times by passers in the street when we were rolling around in Manhattan, laughing hysterically.
She's so fucking smart, that
Yeah.
lady friend. No, it was comparable, you know, and you just gotta.
It was comparable?
comparable.
Was there a B in that word?
What did I say? Comparable.
Comparable?
No, listen, you gotta. You
I
know,
said this is Michael Ravenshadow, not Sting. Except she probably thought that's what happened to her, that she got stung.
Stung by a bee.
No, we had ointment.
So wait, is it that you feel like
this
you need to
ointment?
prove a point? You feel like you need to prove a point when you're on vacation?
No, it's we had free time.
Oh, I
It was
get it. All right.
nighttime. We were like, you know, it was done. We took our pictures, went to the walkway. It's a famous
The walkway?
Yeah, you know, let's go walk around.
You hit the strip.
The
Yeah.
walkabout?
We did a little walkabout, and it was, you know, we were grown ups. It was after 10, and
Yep.
that's when we started consuming.
I'm going to tell you something. Like, I used to think that I had a genetic disposition to, like, I mean, my name is Dynamo, to go for, like, a long time. But the reality is it's just a thing that Ethan McGloofabitz and I over the year called rum and whiskey dick. Like, it just makes you, like, it just makes you able to go. And I was briefly dating this very nice teacher, and she asked me if I was doing it on purpose.
Wait, that's not what whiskey dick is.
No, it's a combination.
Okay.
As a
rum and whiskey dick.
Yeah,
That's one long word.
Yeah, as a dynamo driver made from rum.
Okay.
You know, like I was, Ethan McGloofabitz was having the opposite problem that I was down the hall. But you know,
He was on vacation then.
yeah, she literally asked me if I was doing it on purpose. I'm like, nah, it's just the way I am. And she's like, at the 45-minute point, you're just fucking me awake. So,
Fucking me
you know,
sober.
girls don't like girls. You know, girls don't need them. They're in it for the sprint, not the marathon, apparently.
Depends.
Oh, who wears Depends?
If she wears Depends, she's
Yeah.
in it for the sprint. Yeah.
She did.
Yep. Get in there before something goes wrong.
At least get out.
In and out before something breaks.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa.
Ooh, kind of the fucking
Whoa.
Death Star.
Yeah.
Like, it's like before it blows.
What was that? How big was that hole in the Death Star?
I mean, you could fucking bullseye a womp rat. I mean, I'm not going to let on this.
Are we talking dirty about the Death Star right now? Is that what we come to?
Well, it's better than your fucking baby hole talk last week.
That we have renamed Armageddon Cancer Hole. Thank you very much.
Whoa, that's a baby hole. I fucking lost it. I was doing laundry. I fucking knocked over the fucking bounce.
You don't do laundry.
Well, I walked by a laundromat.
Okay.
And it was on my iPod.
All right.
Does your wife makes you earn, like, do the chores? Like, you're a kept man.
Yeah.
What?
How'd she
How
do
many
that?
fingers, Ravenshadow? How many fingers do you get if you misbehave?
What? Well, this is how I measure a shot for those who can see it. It's like this. Nah, just saying that, if you're gonna do some chores, I'd put on Trick or Treat Radio. Available every Friday in iTunes, Stitcher Radio, or whatever the fuck.
iTunes.
Looney Tunes, iTunes, YouTube. What are you doing?
iTunes.
Octoon, baby, all that shit.
I realized as I was at a fucking... Oh, man, I'm fantasizing about Dunkin' Donuts right now. I want one so bad. I realized as I was at a Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru thing and my conversation went, may I please have a large iced coffee, extra cream, 5 equal, and a bunch of blueberry shots? And what came back was,
Oh,
And I'm
wait,
like-
you were talking to CDR on Skype?
I'm like, who puts that, like, person in a role where they have to talk to people for a job? I'm like, what fucking... And then I'm like, oh, me. Me. I put somebody in charge of promoting us whose first language isn't English.
It's true.
Wait.
What is your first language again?
Native.
Native?
Yeah.
Colloquialisms?
Colloquialisms.
Colloquialism.
What are you drinking?
Good question, Johnny. I'm glad you asked. I am drinking...
Ling Ling.
No. Today I was low on the funds, so I was only able to get a 6-packy of Talls.
Wait, I thought the Ling Ling was cost-effective.
Well, yeah, if you buy it in
It
bulk.
is, but what he's holding there is much more.
Wait a fucking big a minute. Did you stop and buy that today?
I did it before.
I used 50 cents of my last dollar in the world to buy you a fucking candy bar to feed your punk ass, and you're buying beer?
Well, your priorities. It's fucking prescription, man. I got all kinds of stuff.
Doctor prescribed that?
I could have had two.
Obamacare paid for that.
I could have had 2 candy bars.
What doctor prescribed that for you?
Dr.
Feelgood.
I'll be right. I'm calling somebody to bring me food. I
Dr.
fucking hate you.
Dr.
Yeah.
Vinny Boom
Not
Bots.
you.
No, Dr. Joey Tron. He's gonna.
Whoa.
No. I got picked up Narragansett Tall Boy, the Thunder Lager, 3 nips of Jim Beam Black, and
Carton Smokes.
whoa! I don't make that much money, sir.
That
I
should
bought
get you through the
a
night.
pack of Winston Lights. And background story: there's no more lights anymore.
No?
I don't call it lights anymore.
What do they
What
call
are you
them?
talking about? Really?
Yeah, because lights is a perception that is better for you.
So, like
I
beer.
suppose.
Yeah, so it's now like Winston the Gold Box.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
They call Winston just as bads.
Winston just as bad. I like that. I'd
Oh.
smoke those.
Yeah.
I knew a guy named Winston just as bad.
Yeah, and once again, I could quote some Bill Hicks, but this warning says smoking by pregnant women may result in fetal injury or premature birth weight. And much like Bill, I agree. Fucking, not my fucking problem.
Yeah. Does the baby get affected if the guy smokes?
Who fucking knows? I mean,
I don't know.
Those age-old questions.
Yeah, good fucking
You never know the
question,
answer to.
Only if he smokes immediately after conceiving the child.
Smoke
if they're in bed smoking a cigarette, that secondhand smoke. Only that one time.
I'm talking about the honeymoon yet.
Yeah.
Dynamo's on the phone trying to get some food over here.
I think if you have sex while your wife is pregnant on vacation, it could lead to low birth weight.
What the fuck is he calling?
Domino's?
He's talking to somebody.
Stupid. Mr. Goodbar?
That's the good.
It's like
What place is he talking to that delivers
know.
candy bars right now? That's not right.
Maybe Hebert's?
He's talking about vegetables?
Is he ordering takeout from Peapod right now?
Yes.
Ridiculous.
I'm dying.
Not
I don't
Not
care.
what that service is for.
I assure you, he's not dying.
He might be.
Yeah.
Did he just say stat?
I think so.
I need a stat.
Dynamo, you call him Peapod? They're gonna bring you the grocery store.
I said I want a grinder and I want a pizza and just dumb vegetables on both of them.
Dumb vegetables?
Dumb vegetables.
Oh.
Last meal I had was at 2 a.m. at the most exquisite Subway on the planet, a delicious pastrami sandwich.
It's true. That was the fucking best Subway sandwich I've ever had.
Yeah.
I don't mean to, they're not a sponsor.
Were you guys in the city?
No, it was
Stanford. We were right near WWF.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
We took a detour and we were right in front of the Titan Towers.
Yep. It trickles out. The food is ridiculously good in New York City. Like, internationally better than anywhere else.
For lunch, I had a burger. I had like 3/4 of the best burger I've ever had.
It was a little pricey, but it was good.
Yeah.
What happened to that other quarter?
Some waitress that put the unt back in cunt, like just took my plate right in the middle. Like I looked up from
She
and
totally
just took
did.
it away. Yeah.
She totally fucking did. I forgot about that. He's eating this, like, we'd all finished, so I think he was Dynamo was like finishing up, and then she just came by and just took it away from him. He's like, I was gonna eat that.
Yeah.
She was the worst.
T-Dog had just given me like a delicious fried thing
fried
that
pickle
I had.
spears.
I had a bite of it, but it was too hot, and I'm like, this is gonna be delicious. And I put it down. Now I'll never fucking know.
Wow.
There was like a 3/4 of a burger. Well, I would say let's say half a burger, but it was like in the typical Dynamo Mars, like half. Like crescent moon style that I eat in the middle and then out back again.
Yeah.
And a whole fried pickle spear, and this fucking this H.P. Lovecraft monster took it away. I fucking hate her. I forgot all about her.
She was pretty terrible.
She is the fucking worst.
Cthulhu
That's
took
not
your plate
forgivable.
away.
No.
It's unforgivable.
And it was the best, Tiny. I know you wouldn't appreciate it, but it was the best burger that I have ever had in my whole entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And I've eaten a lot of burgers.
Wow, the best, really?
Yeah.
He's even had Five Guys in his mouth before.
Yep.
Oh,
so.
shit.
Whoa.
Wait, does Tiny not eat meat?
No.
No, I don't
what
eat
the
that.
fuck? When did that happen?
Like 1989.
Pretty much, yeah.
He eats more meat now than
He doesn't
ever
eat.
did.
He doesn't eat mammals.
I don't eat mammals. That's
yeah.
right.
That's why his wife is so unhappy.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. What about his wife?
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Chicken and fish are.
That's edgy for Dynamo right there. That's edgy.
That was
MZ.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Well, he said it first, and then I was
That's what I thought.
I was
yeah,
going to
but-
say it too, and he beat me to the punch. I was like, he's right.
I don't like to think about that.
I do.
Today, Jesus
Oh
Christ.
my God.
Yuck.
Oh,
God.
look at that. I saw Tony White with a goatee before.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's my sister. Oh, you're a bad man.
I have seen Tiny White with a goatee before, though.
You were there?
It's pretty pitiful.
No, too.
No offense, Tiny.
Yeah, no. It's gone now. Have you guys seen that recently?
No. Well, is it getting caught in your braces?
Wait, what was gone? The
That's my
goatee, or
sister. There was I looked up on the Tiny has this screen of some of his amazing photography, it's a screensaver. I looked up, there was this perfect fucking 10 with an old ancient camera, and the first thing I said is I recognize that camera, and then I realized that I was like, oh, that's my sister. It was terrible. It was the worst. It ruined my movie going experience.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. I had big douche chills.
well, and then I'm sure it was followed up by the picture of you and Ms. M with your faces photoshopped to each other's body.
I wish I looked at that.
Oh,
Nice.
God.
That's a testament to how not Southern I am.
Does that turn you on?
Huh? No. Though, if her with my face had the ass that she really has, I'd still hit that.
Well, yeah, because you don't have to look at the face.
With my face. Yeah. Oh, without doubt. Yeah, that body. I don't know.
It would be absolute doggy style.
Her and I almost got arrested at Julio's Liquor over here on Sunday.
Julio's?
Yeah.
How come?
Because I went in. Now,
Are you sure it's not? I think it's Julie.
It definitely
No.
is Julio's. I was just gonna.
I was trying to
Go with
give
it
him
for him.
some anonymity here.
Yeah.
It's some what?
Yeah.
Some anonymity?
Anonymity horror. So I walked in, and it's the local liquor store, so it's no surprise
Right.
to anybody that I've been there probably a few times. And it was really busy because there's a wine tasting thing, and the people outside were like, "Oh, do you want to try? Oh, it was a beer tasting day. Do you want free beer?" And they were like gonna put the thing, the tag like on our hand right there, sight unseen, right? Like to have because obviously we're 21 at least, right? And so we're like, no, we gotta. There was like a long line. Like we were gonna take it back, and everybody was away. We were just gonna take it back to the deck and sit at the deck for a while. It's gonna be nice, right? We just wanted a couple of big giant trooper ales, and so I went in. And these women took my ID and were looking at it, and then went over and talked to a policeman. Now I have one of the old mass IDs that don't expire. There's no expiration on it. You can look it up. They don't expire, right? So she goes, the policeman said that this expired a long time ago. And I was like, show me the expiration.
The explanation date.
They're like, if you want to take it up with the policeman, you can. So I felt my typical berserker rage that I have of handling things well rise, and then ebb because I'm like, you know what, I'm fucking tired. Like I just, you know what, I'll just go by. And then the woman was like, well, do you want your Cheetos that you were gonna get? Because Miss M was gonna get some Cheetos, and then I just heard like a sound of a voice that I generally only hear when she's talking to me, and it was like, did you just ask me if I still wanted to buy my Cheetos? And the woman was like, yeah. She's like, no, I don't want to buy my Cheetos. And it was at that point that I got her out of there before the bomb squad came, because it was like it was not going to be good. Like the shoulders, like all the tells of somebody was going to get their fucking ass kicked. I did say, as we were walking out, that there's no expiration date on this. They're just mad because they're fat and it's busy. So I don't know that I'll be welcome back, but I've also never seen those fat women before, so they're probably somebody's wives that were helping because it was busy, but like she was gonna fuck up a bitch.
What is it with you and like alcohol? Remember the Wegmans story?
But that day, what's different about that day, she brought that up. What's different about that was that I wasn't buying anything, and my wallet was like not even. It was either in the car or I'd left it at work. Like I didn't have it. Like so, I would have just shown my ID because it's not like I get hassled for it a lot. Like, nowhere I go, I didn't have trouble with it. I used it in New York. Like, no place that I went do I ever get any trouble for it.
Yeah, if you have gray hair and somebody's not allowing you to buy liquor, something is seriously wrong with that.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess Miss M looks young, but she looks, like IDing her was probably charming, Mm-hmm. It was just because she was fat and mean, like. But I thought Miss M was gonna taunt on her right there.
Taunt on her?
Yeah, fucking sure. It was bad. Did you just ask me if I wanted Cheetos? So.
What's that? Cut open her belly and sleep inside her?
Yeah.
No, that's what you do with the fat broad that was
Born again.
Giving you bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Yeah. Okay, good. All right, yeah. Thanks for playing. Too tired for this.
Who's next, John?
I'm half awake.
Yeah.
Man. I don't know what the hell.
We're
fucking guys.
Yeah, you guys, jeez.
So I didn't get any Trooper EL, and that's the only place to get it. In the other place I went to that used to have Lone Star didn't have that, so there's nothing to fucking drink.
Oh,
Lone Star.
But the other liquor store would have let me buy booze. They just didn't have what I wanted.
You can get it at Austin Liquors.
That's good. Yeah, get some.
What was that? What you were gonna say?
What?
You
I
had
said
an exclamation. You're like, ah.
Well, I know where to go to get it.
That's on Parky, right?
Gold Star Boulevard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait.
Where
SL
White City
says,
is.
wait. Aren't you supposed to not be drinking?
Ooh.
Because of
Here we go.
because of some
smart, dude.
because of some responsibilities that I've picked up at local watering hole as of late, it's been hard not to drink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
It's never good when Dynamo's explanation starts with a long sigh.
Yeah. Ethan McGloofabits the other day made me a drink that I thought was like one of those fruity special shooter drinks that the lovely Noelle, bartender extraordinaire at the Lucky Dog, makes for me on stage. Hey
now.
1 drink, 2 drink, like double shot drinks, like just juice. You can drink 40 of them. By the third one, as I was up there with like my shirt only half on, singing like Journey songs, I realized that they were not that kind of drink.
Right.
We were the only ones in the club. Had the karaoke going. It's bad times.
No, it's good times. Well,
I may or may not have played all Flock of Assholes instruments. Like,
I haven't even introduced anyone. I don't even know what the fuck we're doing.
I don't know. What
All
SL?
right.
It's out. I'm drinking. I'm gonna have pizza. You're gonna see me have pizza in a little while. It's been a bad day. It's been a bad month.
Whoa.
My cat got out today. It's been just a fucking disaster. I got poison ivy, I think.
Whoa.
Hey,
Sit over there.
you sit over there.
I don't think it's catchy like that, is it?
To me, it is.
Just don't rub your cock on him.
Fuck.
Damn it!
Damn it.
I got some on my
So yeah,
arm.
it's been bad. It's been bad, SL.
All right, let me go ahead and introduce everyone. I am Johnny Wolfenstein, the pencil pusher and producer of media for Trick or Treat Radio and the Deadites. We also have the immortal gunslinger, singer, lyricist for the Deadites, Dynamo Mars.
Connecticut picked my pocket.
What?
Yep.
Did you lose money there?
No. Tiny, do you remember how much it was when we took the train? It was like 7 years ago or so, mind you. But do you remember how much it was for you and I to take the train from?
I think it was a nickel.
Yeah,
Nickel.
I
It was
paid.
a while ago.
Yeah, it was like $50
What to get
for
from where
two
to
people
where?
to get from
was-
Stanford to.
It was 43 for two people, round trip.
That's Dr. Somatics. That's pretty fucking close to
Somatics?
$50. That's $50.
You could have bought a pizza with the leftover
That's,
at
that's
$7.
psychosemantics right there.
So that's
candy bar.
That's
It's like a
that's
semantic.
$50. Okay. So
Yeah. That's lousy, but yeah, it doesn't shock me. I would.
Yeah, well, they don't need my fucking money. They got the good subway. They got the WWF. They got nice roads.
Roads.
I hated that lady too. The lady behind the thing.
The thing.
The lady behind the.
Yeah, she's behind she's like behind the fucking
toll pike?
bulletproof. She's like behind the paracinema
Yeah.
porn screen.
Nice. Oh.
Like
nice.
somebody's gonna take a fucking shot at her at the fucking like the train station. Like she's in fucking danger in the Stanford train station.
Right. She probably Stanford's
The,
rough,
mean, the
dude.
mean streets. Yeah,
Yeah,
the mean
she's
street
like-
posse.
I was like, how much for two for round trip? She's like 43 an hour, and I'm like, no, I only want to go one time. Like just not forever, not all year. Just
Whoa, that ties in nicely to the movie we're gonna review.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a sec, though.
yeah, I don't want to live in the tail.
We also have the katana-wielding, synth-collecting, mask-wearing composer and songwriter for the Deadites, Tiny White.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Good, Tiny. We're doing all right.
Just writing music.
Tiny, I wanted to sit in your basement and eat popcorn all day.
Yeah, it's fun,
I
right?
licked the bottom of that that bucket, I think.
And did you make the special sauce, Tiny? With
No,
the
I can't do
sugar?
that.
No? Why?
That's got sugar in it and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can have a little bit of sugar, like if it's good, if it's good sugar. Like
I don't want any of that lousy sugar.
I want that good shit.
dude,
Give me the good white powder.
I'm fucking saying.
that coffee and that popcorn was like my sustenance.
Yeah.
Like I'm still hungry.
There's nothing wrong with a little popcorn every once in a while.
No, it's good. I had a little popcorn yesterday too, but I didn't eat very much of it because I'll tell that story later.
All right. Let me introduce everyone else. We have the others
Hey.
And the other ones.
and the other ones.
I want to alter Ravenshadow's intro anyway.
Oh, what do you want it to be?
In the studio the other day, I found out that in the entire Deadites organization, the people who set up the fucking stuff, 12 Gauge Calhoun and Dr. Light, the merch people, as of Oracle finally quitting, Michael Ravenshadow is the only smoker in the entire organization.
Ooh.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah, it's not.
When did Oracle quit?
I don't
Like
know.
a year and a half ago, she said. I had no
yeah,
idea.
That's good.
Yeah, that's great.
Great.
Well, it's not a fucking. It was a year and a half ago. It's not like it's.
Well, we didn't know. I should have known by her great attitude.
Yeah.
When are you quitting?
You gotta quit soon. You know how hypocritical it is? We've given probably realistically over the years, like over 20 years, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to cancer research.
Thank you.
Right. Well, that's the problem.
Thank you. No,
Yeah, it's
thanks
all
a
going
lot.
to him.
Yeah.
Give
I don't-
more.
I don't want to pay for you.
I'm doing a Kickstarter for some lungs.
So
Lung-
It's
lung
gonna
start.
go. It's gonna
Pretty
go.
soon you're gonna need a lung starter.
So
oh,
do-
shit, you're fucking smart too, there, MZ.
So do his dumb intro, and then I'm gonna All right, I'm gonna come up with something else another time.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say something after my intro too.
All right, good.
You have a cigarette in your mouth right now. Take it
Yeah,
out.
Stop it.
All right, we have the chain smoking, hand kissing, baby shaking, hot pocket loving, comic book reading nerd, and the official smoke machine for the Deadites, Michael Ravenshadow.
The irony is the only claim to fame he has in that anymore is that he smokes. He doesn't even hot pockets.
It's true. You haven't. When's the
You're a
last time you had
fucking
a hot?
sham.
I've never seen him get a
Yeah.
hot
When's the last time you had
Smell
a
his
hot
breath.
pocket?
Smell his breath.
There's no microwave in the studio.
Yeah, there is.
I can't
Is it
wait
really?
for that pizza to come over. Fuck the shit.
You
out
really
of it.
getting a fucking pizza?
Yeah. Huh?
Are you really doing that?
Yeah.
Bring the delivery
Or
guy.
or a grinder. I told or a steak. I
When the
said I don't
delivery
care.
guy when the
Or
delivery
a
guy
steak.
gets here,
It's gonna be a cow being delivered.
when the delivery guy gets here, bring him into the studio.
I want him on air.
Yeah,
It's not gonna be
Is
a
he
delivery
cute?
guy. It's gonna be a delivery girl.
Is he Indian?
that's even better.
Yeah, like that's where they. Yeah. This is like that crypto cast where you three were all sitting around talking about how you're gonna get laid and go to strip clubs and stuff like that.
That really happened.
We make all these fucking
Yeah.
stories about fighting monsters and stuff like that. The most unrealistic thing is that you three talking about going to a strip club.
It happened. We did that.
Yeah, you did that.
It was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
You've never been.
I've never been.
Yep.
Really?
Dude, you've never been.
You're right. I have never been. We
You've
tried to
never
go.
been to a strip
We
club?
have.
No,
Yeah.
we tried to go once when Psycho Patrick was of age.
Oh yeah, then Dynamo screwed the
And
pooch
then
on that
Dynamo-
one.
Yeah.
What?
And Dynamo didn't have his ID.
Another time, see that?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I had to take
You know
Psycho
that-
Patrick.
I
with
actually-
Double D
The
a few
everlasting
weeks later.
ID that doesn't expire.
I actually didn't have. I
Well, they
didn't.
didn't take it in '97.
I didn't have. No, I didn't have it then. I remember the day I got it, and I remember the monster I was dating that we can directly thank
Whoa,
the
whoa,
sexy
whoa.
librarian for not intervening. But like, so it was that like, it was a while ago. It wasn't like
it was-
a long time ago.
No, it was
It wasn't 97.
'98.
No, I probably didn't even have an ID. Why would I even have had an ID in 97?
It was not.
I don't know.
It was not.
Why
past-
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Where was I going?
The fucking strip club. It's why you get an ID. For alcohol and
Dude, in 97 I was seeing naked girls. Like I didn't need to pay them dollar bills.
Well,
Now I
You didn't
might
need
to.
to.
you didn't need to, but it
Yeah.
helped. Who's next?
We also have the vulgar guru of horror, member of Morbid Vision Films, and contributor for Horror Hound magazine, Monster Zero.
Nice hair.
Thanks, man. And I just want to speak on this.
Oh, great.
A few days ago, we lost a man who works.
What the fuck?
How disrespectful.
I got
R2D2 will miss you. 3PO's really sad.
Around in the area,
You
we
can't
have
even eulogize someone. Jesus
Shut
Christ.
up. All right,
He can't do mine, Johnny.
part
All right.
two. Part two. Oh, I'll do yours. Believe me.
He has to. Who else is gonna?
Yeah, the place will be empty. I just want to say, give a shout out to Penny Dreadful and Shilling
Oh, yeah,
Shockers, where her
This is awful.
companion and her husband, Guru, the Wolfman, his real name was Magoo, and I hope I pronounced this right, Gelater. He passed away a few days ago, over the weekend I think it was,
Yeah.
to cancer. And
See, Ravenshadow?
yeah. Well, I don't know if he was a smoker or not, but I don't know the extent of that. But he passed away a few days ago, and shit.
What the fuck is transpiring?
and,
What's going on?
And I just want to send my condolences to Penny Dreadful and to the McGallagher family and the Penny Dreadful's family as well. And they went to Rock and Shock all the time. They
Yep.
were there every year, and
Good
Magoo
folks.
and I, Magoo and I, we started chumming up and started talking about how the show is going, how Shilling Shockers is going, you know, and we would chat it up every now and then. And he was a really good guy, a very quiet guy, but he really loved his character of Guru, the Wolfman, and it's a shame to see another one of ours
Yeah.
pass on over. But you know what? I mean, it's sad. It really
Cancer's a
is.
son of a
'cause-
bitch.
Man,
yeah, because he was really a cool guy. He really was.
I'm ashamed to say I was so out of it that was my That was my intro. That was my planned intro. I
Really?
just couldn't stretch. I knew there was something I wanted to talk about, but
So just want to give a shout out to everybody in that family and say farewell to Magoo McEllider.
Man, this is fucking
I could-
downbeat intro.
well, sorry to fucking put you out, fucking
Yeah,
dick.
yeah. If you don't like it, we can
No,
just
no.
leave.
Man,
Everyone wants to sleep.
you
There's
and that
dead
fucking
people.
waitress. I hate all of you.
We were talking about strip joints earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, but that doesn't pick you up either. You never been to a strip joint.
I'm
hate-
up.
I hate him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's up.
I'm up
Are
right
you
now.
are you morally adverse to being caught in one?
Yeah, I don't like naked women.
Obviously.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
I mean, there's
we
difference
could tell.
between naked women
Well,
and,
we can
and-
tell.
and-
I don't want to be caught in one. But I want
Caught
to
in
be
one.
caught. I don't want to be like.
Like in your
I don't want any evidence.
your cock piece
There was-
caught in a zipper.
Right.
The problem with being in like a rock band is that if you go to the same strip club often enough, like I had to stop at one when I was hanging out at the same watering hole in question. Actually, I had a job there. I would have to stop, and I would see all the people that eventually became like, some of my friends' wives and ex-wives and girlfriends and stuff like that, totally naked. And while it was awesome at the time,
You had to. I had to see them.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
damn.
I mean, can you picture?
no, it was like I honestly like I one of them was in a movie naked, and I somehow wore out the DVD on that part. But like it wasn't a bad thing,
The
but
tracking is all
yeah,
messed up on
it's
the DVD.
it's awkward to see your
Yeah.
yeah.
No doubt. man.
like
I hear you.
you going like Uncle Dynamo, like, oh yep, I seen your mom naked.
Yep.
It's bad times.
I saw your mom's cancerous. What's it called?
No,
The cancerous kazoo.
what?
What's it called?
That's not what it's called.
The baby hole.
How
It's
to
a
get
vibrator.
cancer home. Cancer kazoo? What vibrator?
What?
The Thanagarian cancer hole.
This is like a fever dream for me. You don't even know. My blood sugar's all out of whack.
All right. Well, I don't know. We briefly mentioned it, but we're gonna review the film Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer!
I'm actually a little surprised. I wish we had gotten a call from Crazy Old
Whoa,
Rick.
wait. Are we recording a show right now?
Yes. yes.
shit.
Yes.
What time is it? Oh my god.
unbelievably.
Oh my god. We've been recording this whole time?
Yeah, for 45 minutes.
Whoa. Okay.
So we're going to talk about Snowpiercer, the film from 2013, South Korean film by Bong Joon-Ho, who did, you guys may remember from The Host.
The host.
Yeah.
The host
And
with
the host too.
Yeah, the host too.
No,
What the
he-
fuck
he
ever
didn't-
happened to the host too? That's what I'm saying.
He didn't. He didn't direct it though. I think he
Oh,
he
well.
was a
Did
producer.
it-
or
There was
Does it
supposed
exist?
there was a supposed snippet that came out several months ago, like about maybe actually about a year ago, I think. And,
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know if that was real or not. I
Yeah.
haven't seen or heard.
That is
anything
several
about it
months
since.
ago.
Yeah. Well, between Host 2 still hosting.
Yep.
so
Yeah, here
we're
it is. Host 2, the host with the most. I'm looking at it right now.
The party continues.
Yeah.
The hostess with the mostest.
He's chasing that van down the street next to the mountain.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got a
Yeah.
party hat on.
Yeah.
I was disappointed in that movie. I misread it and thought it was about Twinkies.
Well,
The
they
host.
should do a hostess. That should be it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Host 2, the hostess.
We should do some
Yeah.
hostesses.
Just when you thought a giant dragon was bad, now comes the hostess. So how many in your party?
We can't accommodate a part of your size.
Nice.
So
I
we're-
want to see the fucking host 2 though, big time. Bad.
Well,
That little teaser trailer.
yeah,
looked
yeah.
Fucking great.
Are you
know
sure
what I mean?
this
And
wasn't
I
it?
love the host.
Yeah.
maybe it was. So Snowpiercer is the film we're going to talk about in
Snowpiercer,
just a few minutes.
the king of the street.
I wish
Snowpiercer.
Crazy Old Rick called in.
He was in
you know.
studio last week
It's about trains
to
and
talk about vagina ships.
vagina ships. All right, we should probably get to this review or something.
I'm already starting to write the I'm sorry in the intro for this week's show.
Maybe we should get some like energy drinks or something, or
Yeah, I got one.
can that's not an energy drink.
Did you
That's
already drink a
against
whole
it.
one of those? You've only been sitting here for like less than an hour.
Yes,
It's
it's been like 45 minutes.
Yeah, but you're sitting still. It's not like you're in like a social. You're in an instance where you're supposed to be talking.
Dynamo
Yeah,
for him
talking.
him nursing a beer is like for about maybe 3.5 minutes.
Yeah. You should saw the drive over here. Or the walk up the stairs.
Wait, how many do you have?
I don't want to
No wonder
Quantify. What?
you sound like you coming up the stairs sounds like somebody with 2 rocks trying to start a fire. I can't understand it at all. It's like kadunk, kadunk, kadunk.
It takes him like 60 beers for him to get drunk.
Sounds like the fucking professor's coconut exercise bike that made that noise for no reason.
Yeah.
The noise of coconuts clacking.
What?
Skipper.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we should probably get to this movie review.
All right, I'm leaving.
Yeah, we
Put
probably
everyone to sleep.
should.
Yeah.
Let's
So-
go. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, we're gonna get pumped up in this break. Lubed up? Are you already lubed up? Is that what you're saying?
I'm trying, man.
Dynamo's gonna get some pizza. He's gonna get a grinder. He's eating a grinder.
I'm getting pubed up.
What?
Whoa.
You had a big grin on your face when you said that. What is that?
I don't know, man. I'm just delirious.
Did you have your pubes straightened too? They have those relaxed.
Can you do that?
I don't know. You should try.
You think I look like Don King down there?
You get anal bleaching while you're at it.
Get your pubes relaxed and the anal bleach.
Yeah, I like my.
I don't know, man. My head hurts.
Tiny's awfully quiet over there.
He's better off. He's a better man for it.
I think he maybe he's gotten his anal bleach on.
You know I'm trying to put a soundtrack to Snowpiercer together right now, right?
Oh, nice. Okay.
You don't manscape down there, MZ?
No. I should, though.
Yeah, do it like the Abdul Jabbar.
talk about that.
What'd you say, Tiny?
Who wants to put their mouth on fucking Harry Rufus or Ronaldo?
Talk about that.
Nobody I know.
This looks like a fully erect. Just looks like an egg in a nest.
The fucking Savage Land.
It looks like what Quetzalcoatl had built in the top of the Empire State Building in Q. 2 big giant eggs. In the middle of the Larry Fine haircut. That's what it looks like, Larry Fine now.
It looks like Larry Fine's head. Is that what you said?
This episode's picking up now.
Yeah. Fucking do it. Not smoking.
No. All right.
How's your week been, SL?
Maybe I'll make one big dreadlock down there.
Oh God.
Or cornrows.
Yeah,
or something.
Rapunzel, let down your fucking balls.
How much hair do you have down there?
Would you like to
Not
see?
even.
No.
Yeah, this is a game.
No.
We can do something with this.
No.
Yeah.
We can do
We
so.
could, yeah,
Yeah,
we
it's
could make a
not-
skit
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
this.
I know what we could do is we could have everybody that's listening out there in podcast land collectively turn their podcast off and
Are you
delete
kidding
it
me?
forever.
You mean for
Are
a
you kidding me?
change?
If somebody else was talking about this, I'd be tuning in immediately.
Yeah.
Because I want to know where this goes.
Tune
You're
in
the dude that
Tokyo
went all
over
the
here.
way to Vegas and wanted to watch somebody jack off in the road, though.
Right, exactly. It's exactly the point. It's like
You're not
you
exactly
know,
our
you,
target demographic.
you know, you want to see how this ends, just like that. I wanted to see how it ends.
I know it's been so long since you've had any kind of sex that you're not sure what happens after you masturbate for a while, but
Jesus.
I don't know what just happened.
Derailed. we don't want to go there. We don't want to know the answer to that question.
Which one?
It's all of them.
Well, I'm nice and smooth down there, ladies.
Oh, don't.
Kind of like Don Johnson.
No.
He wears a fucking big pink blazer.
A little bit of stubble, but for the most part.
A little stubble.
Yeah, a little 5 o'clock shadow.
Little 5 o'clock Ravenshadow.
You know, it's just, not
Looks like
Professor-
Ravenshadow down there.
Yeah, it's not Professor X, but kind of like you know.
Complete with glasses and everything.
I'm gonna quote SL in the chat room.
Dear God, no!
Well, she only said "Dear God," but that'll have to do.
Yeah, I could be taking other contexts.
Could be.
Yeah.
All right, we need to
Get the
cut
fuck
to a
out.
break.
Yes, please.
We gotta go. You know what? Last week was a good episode.
Oh, good.
Check out episode 94.
No, it wasn't actually, right? No?
We're
No.
sneaking up on 100 awfully quick here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't even have anything planned for
One
100 yet.
episode at a time.
Well, maybe we
We're gonna
should
plan
start.
something, maybe, huh?
We should tell them though.
So that's what?
I want a good guest, like Mike Ledger or something.
We should get Ledger on one of these days. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll just fucking berate us the whole time.
That's
But that's
fun.
what he does anyway. I mean,
I
it's
know.
no big deal.
SL says yes, 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 yes.
Why not get sexy librarian in the studio too?
Oh, Snoop.
Maybe for episode 100, we should turn on the frickin' Google audio.
Maybe for episode 100, we should turn off the camera.
That could be a show too.
Yeah, we'd have more people tune in, I'm sure.
We could have somebody come in and judge our manscaping.
That's
Oh, no.
yeah. That's a fucking show.
Just
Let's
have
do
a
it.
piece of board there with 4 holes. And
Oh my God!
Whoa, whoa.
Oh my God! What? Wait, what about Tiny?
No.
Why are there 4 holes there?
Yeah, just.
What are the holes for?
So we put the board in front of us and we stand in a line behind it.
Yeah, but we
With
could.
the- with
That's
the
a
4
fucking
holes.
lineup.
Show.
The usual suspects.
We-
May 31st, Lucky Dog Music Hall.
Cox
Jesus.
the so to say.
Jesus Christ. Are you fucking for real?
Yeah, but you could move. You don't have to have like. It's not like a glory hole situation. Like you
Yeah.
can just stand there. Like
Yeah, and I'm not gonna press my junk up
you
against someone else who already stood there before. That's gross.
No, put some like duct tape around it
That's
so it
what
won't.
grosses you out.
Well, yeah.
Well, don't put your head on your pillow.
Ravenshadow, what do we do? What every Friday? What quickly?
Oh, fucking.
What are the 3 things you can count on life?
Somebody drives by and like, hey, your balls clear?
Death,
Screw
taxes,
nuts?
and psychiatric pills.
No, it's
What
what
are
I'm
they?
going to say.
Yeah.
It's going to be 3 guarantees of life, is death, taxes, and Trick or Treat Radio every Friday morning.
That's right. And Wednesday night too, of course. Live.
Dive.
If you want to deal with this bullshit
You want to
live.
watch the magic trick?
Yeah, you can't fast forward this.
No.
So
You'll have to suffer just like the rest of us.
So on Fridays, Ravenshadow, you listen to the episode, you're all
Oh.
done. What do you do?
I'm spent.
You go on vacation.
He manscapes.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can get your trimmers, your Norelco, get a couple paper towels down. You don't want that everywhere.
You lady chic.
Even his
Yeah,
name.
no.
Even
No.
its name says Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, you can bring out the towels, but I mean, you might forget and wash your face. Like, fuck, that's awkward. So you want to dispose of that quickly. And while you're disposing the evidence, you want to check out Trick or Treat Radio on a fib.
That's right.
Communicate with others who probably got problems like you do.
What's the fib?
I'm glad you good fucking question, Johnny. It's a fan interaction board.
Where do you get it?
Shit.
Facebook.
Yes, on internet and the Facebook.
So you go to Facebook and you
Yeah.
type in Trick or Treat Radio.
And so much content, so
Yep.
many updates, so much
So
fucking
much going on.
content.
Watch your language.
What?
All right, we got to go to a break,
We
all
gotta
right?
fucking go.
Yeah, when we
Yeah.
come back, should I do Godzilla or are we gonna do?
No, we're going to talk about Snowpiercer.
All right, I think people are more interested in Godzilla.
No, they're more interested in trains.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, spoiler alert, Breaking Bad fans. Just
All right,
saying.
we'll be right back to talk about Snowpiercer.
Do you love a scary story? Do you love dance? The Big Scary Monster Hunts at Midnight is a collection of dark songs about sex, love, death, revenge, and the end of the world. Brought to you by the world's greatest monster hunting electro-genre band, the Deadites. Available on iTunes, Google Music, Amazon, CD Baby, and all other digital distribution sites.
Hey there, this is R.A. Salvatore, call me Bob, and you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Hello, darlings. It's your favorite whiskey-drinking, litigious, singing, dancing fantasy girl. Want to reach out to me and the world's greatest monster-hunting multimedia organization, the Deadites? Log on to Facebook.com/the Deadites. It's got all the info you need to follow the world's greatest monster hunting band, like live appearances, info on your favorite Deadite, music, and all the links you need to our new weekly multimedia and all our side endeavors. Too many letters on Facebook? That's okay, sugar. Just follow us on Instagram and Twitter at The Deadites. Hope to see you soon, and we'll leave the lights off.
And we are back. That clear the cobwebs? Anyone? Anyone else there?
Yo.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about Snowpiercer, starring Dynamo's newest crush. Is that right, Dynamo?
What? I've always liked C-Pain.
C-Pain?
Yeah.
Well,
That's what I call him. I call him down at the gym.
He's from Massachusetts, you know.
I know. We hang and bang.
Yes, I bet you do hang and bang.
Who's C-Pain?
That's what he yells out when he's getting it from behind from his favorite actor now.
Ah, I see.
No, I mean Ryan Gosling, still my favorite actor.
Well, he's your favorite director now too.
Yeah, fuck yeah! I can't wait to see that. He made a movie with that incredible redhead with that looks like she has two like chubby children under her sweater.
What?
From Mad
look
Men.
that up.
Oh wait.
Christina Hendricks.
Oh no, you're talking about Carrot Top.
No, I'm talking about.
Was it right?
You're right.
Chubby,
Christina
what
Hendricks.
under her sweater?
Two
now?
chubby Asian children under her sweater.
Asian children.
Yeah, Christina
Wait,
Hendricks.
Don't look for that on Bing.
Is I saw that too. Is Gosling in the film as well, or is he just directing?
He didn't hear you apparently.
I'm literally ravenous. You have no idea. I'm about to eat you.
He's
He's eating me.
He's like in the tail of the train here. Yeah.
He's
Oh,
a
Sheena Easton, right?
I got a
No,
protein
not
pack
Sheena
for your
Easton.
face.
He said it right-ish. Christina Hendricks.
Hendricks.
Wait, no, it's Sheena Easton. I looked it up. Incredible redhead looks like she has two chubby children under her sweater. First result, Sheena Easton.
Maybe it is.
Looking right at it.
And Bing doesn't lie, my friend.
Could be
No.
the fat girl from The Facts of Life for all we know.
Oh shit, Natalie.
Yeah. Mindy Cohn.
Yeah, there you go. No, I like Joe. Remember Joe?
Yeah, tomboy.
Yeah.
I would nail it now.
No, I like Tootie.
Hey Tiny, why are we bleeding through on your end?
That's a good question. I don't know.
You have headphones on?
Oh yeah, maybe my headphone is close to the microphone
Yeah.
here. How's that?
I
I think it's better.
And Blair
Yeah.
wouldn't talk to me.
I'd nail Natalie.
Blair wouldn't talk to you.
Nah.
She would
It'd be
give you the time of day.
I'd have a good time with Natalie. I'd have a meaningful relationship with Joe, and I'd like pee on Blair.
Remember the first season
No,
though,
I'd
when
take
there
Tootie.
were
I'd
all the
take
girls?
Tootie.
Yeah.
I would take Tootie, man.
Tootie.
You probably get her cousin.
You would probably get Mrs. Garrett.
Yeah, dude. She is edible
She's
like a motherfucker.
Crazy redhead.
Yeah, and edible all kind of shit. Me and George Clooney back in the day.
Oh, Michael Ravenshadow.
Wow,
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Would you like to have a taste of my bonbons?
Wait, I ain't that fucked up yet. Let me get a drink.
Here, Michael Ravenshadow.
Oh my
It's-
God.
It's really good.
creepy. All right, let's talk about Snowpiercer, dudes. What do you think? 2013, rated R, 126 minutes, action drama sci-fi from South Korea.
Yep.
Although this is Bong Joon-Ho's first English-speaking film.
Bongoleo.
Technically, it's English-speaking because like 80% of it is in English.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and it was written by Bong Joon-Ho, Kelly Masterson. She wrote the screenplay, and it's I don't have the. It's based on a book by some French dudes named La Trans.
It's a graphic novel, I think.
It is. You're right. It is absolutely. I don't really want
Of
to.
course, it's French because like French comic books are the best and the most they're the most fucked up.
But
Oui.
no, yeah, but nobody surrendered in this movie.
Oui.
Oh, you shut up.
Oui. Oui.
And it's got a
He
pretty.
did. That one guy did. Remember?
Oh,
He showed us
Oh
his
yeah,
tattoo on his
right.
arm.
The tattoo.
Oh, shit.
See, shows what you know. You weren't even paying attention.
Never surrender.
And this has a pretty awesome cast. It's got
Yeah.
Dynamo's boy C-Pain, Chris Evans, Jamie Bell, Tilda Swinton, Ed Harris.
Tilda Swinton in her fucking best role to date. In
It's
my
fucking
opinion.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
John Hurt and who else?
Octavia from The Help.
From what?
Yes,
Yeah.
you're right.
Remember The Help?
The Help.
Yeah.
The
No,
Help.
we didn't see that. No, but
Well, we
you're
didn't
correct.
see
No,
it,
it
but
exists.
it was a very popular movie that, you know.
It
good.
was. It
Pop
was.
culture.
Vlad, my favorite of Tiny and I's, we were excited to see Vlad Ivanov from The Marksman in Second in Command.
Oh
Who's
yeah.
your favorite?
Yep, we've seen all of his films.
So pretty cool cast, pretty extensive. I gotta do the synopsis. In a future where a failed global warming experiment kills off all life on the planet except for a lucky few that boarded the Snowpiercer, a train that travels around the globe where a class system evolves. That's a shitty synopsis.
Shitty bang bang. Yeah.
Shitty bang bang synopsis. Who wants to go first? Who wants to kick us off? Anyone?
I can go. I don't care.
You want to go?
Yeah.
Dynamo, let's hear it.
I have one complaint about this movie, and I don't know how to do it without being spoilery, so you guys are going to have to help me out here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we know what the punchline is, right? Okay, we all saw the movie,
Yeah.
right? So if the punchline is the punchline, how did that guy's arm why did that guy's arm get frozen when they stuck it outside the train?
It might have been where they were at the time.
Yeah.
Not to mention the blast of the blast of the wind.
The speed they were moving.
It froze it
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
How far away did that train get that?
In 7 minutes, though. That's a
No.
long time.
This is science fiction.
Yeah, but you set a constant. If you go out on Mars and you all of a sudden turn into Rodney Dangerfield and your eyes bug out, and then you don't the next time.
We also don't know how fast it moved. I don't
If
think
you
they
if you
ever
go
said.
out with Mars, you turn into Rodney
I
Dangerfield.
don't know. I don't know.
You get
definitely
no
get no
respect.
respect.
Yeah.
All things considered, it looked like it was moving pretty fucking fast.
And it's colder at night.
Yeah, there's wind chill
Yeah.
factor.
fine.
The,
yeah,
the
no,
blast
well,
of the wind,
I
I'm
think
sure had.
I think that was fucking stupid.
No, no,
I thought it was awesome at the time, but I
Yeah.
think in the big picture that was fucking stupid.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like, they were bundled up and stuff like that. I mean, it may have been 0 degrees, and you're moving at
Yeah, but
whatever
when
that train
Orson
was
fucking
moving
showed up, they already would have been a popsicle if that was the case.
I know what he meant.
at.
You're a Worcester native.
Yeah.
Yes.
At any rate,
Necronomicon native. No, but I think
polar beverages are everywhere.
They are.
Yeah.
Tiny wife was trying to convince me the other day that Polar was like a classy soda.
Yeah.
That's her perception because they make orange dry. That's her.
Nice.
Yeah, because my nana drank that.
Yeah, she
Fuck
likes.
Right.
Come on, orange dry is the shit, man.
She likes to
I love
have
that stuff.
your tiny wife likes to have Polar soda, and on her toast she puts, "I really can't believe that it's really not butter."
Right. The classic butter substitute.
Yeah, pinkies all the way up.
But otherwise, I thought this was fucking great. I don't want to say too awful much about it because if I heard about this, I would probably think that it was so completely outrageous that I wouldn't be able to get into it. But it's still, the cast is so great and is delivered with such earnest that this really is probably the best movie that I've seen this year. I think the performances are terrific. The concept is terrific. I did turn, not to toot my own horn.
The concept is fucking outrageous. What are
Yeah.
you talking about right now?
But it is terrific.
Yeah.
Listen,
It's-
much like
yeah.
here's the thing. It would have been a fucking mess
Mhm.
if it was bad. But much like
Agreed, yeah,
much like
agreed.
Bad Milo. Think about Bad Milo for a second.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
if it's bad, it's gonna be bad. But if it's like if you look at this and say, how do we fucking pull this off? Well, we pull it off with the guy who made the host, Captain America, and John Hurt.
Yep.
And then along the way we pick up like
Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton and
Yep.
some kid named Gray. That was fucking phenomenal. That had his threats and his demands tattooed on his arm already.
Oh yeah.
So at any rate, this is a great movie, folks. I highly, highly recommend it. I think that I really have one kind of continuity thing. I did at one point. I feel like Chris Evans should have been on to the Willy Wonka aspect of it. sooner because I felt like I was.
Yeah.
But it did him not knowing made that one punchline with the egg guy even more fucking awesome. So it was great. I really enjoyed it. The best way to go into it is not to read too much about it, I think.
Yeah, agreed.
It is a phenomenal film. It's probably the most that I've seen a film that was kind of ripped from the pages of like a heavy metal almost, like
The headlines.
Yeah, you're
brought,
right.
brought to like fruition. Like
Yeah.
it's one of those cockamamie things that would be like the TARDIS would land in the middle of here and hear what would happen to go on.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It was great. Every single member of the cast was great, especially Vlad and another guy who I couldn't figure out who he actually was because I didn't catch his name, but he didn't have any dialogue. Those two were tremendous heavies.
Mm-hmm.
This is the type of movie that I want, where it delivers on the things that you want to see the heavies fight. You want to see, like now there is like a tendency for like extraneous characters like that to be a punchline.
Yeah.
I mean, for Christ's sakes, they had like a named fighter in Machete 2, and they had him be a clone so he could get killed multiple times without even having a very good combat. But
Right.
Everybody in this was fucking great. I thought that I love how this guy lights poorly lit places. It looks very, very organic. The scene in the tunnel was really fucking cool. Everything about it. Happy New Year.
With the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every fucking thing. Before, after, every little bit. Tilda Swinton showing up, like, you're just like, what? Like, that's, I feel like, because the first 30 minutes were so dire, I feel like it wasn't then until I understood some of the stuff that was funny in the last, like, I was like, oh, I'm kind of with it now, like, so maybe that's another shortcoming, like, to set things up, they, the humor didn't really come across until, like, the halfway point. Yeah. Speaking of things that didn't come across, maybe I am just, I don't know, I don't want to say too well-traveled, or protein bars, not a big deal to anyone else? Like, the punchline of that, was there something I was missing there? Like,
I didn't, spoiler alert, I couldn't really
That's
tell
early, yeah.
what it was. Was it
Cockroaches.
bugs? It was okay, I thought it meant like grasshoppers.
But like,
okay, all right. It was
I thought they were cockroaches.
that makes more sense.
if you're in Nepal, like, you grab a fucking handful of those.
Right. All those programs about like the motherfucker in the wild with no shoes on.
That shit that Wolfie watches. Yeah.
Yeah. The Wolfie eats.
Oh, it's what in South Africa?
Yeah, who's that motherfucker?
Apartheid.
Yeah, didn't apartheid invent that?
No.
What'd they invent?
Hatred.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
No.
Still bad.
Ain't
Don't
gonna
condone.
play Sun City.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but it's bugs, right?
Yeah, but
They
I
kinda
just
reacted-
didn't think it was like I wouldn't pick to eat bugs,
Mhm.
but if especially after Captain America's monologue
Yeah,
at
exactly.
the end, like I'd be like, oh well,
It wasn't
bugs. Yeah, bugs are probably kind of okay.
that discovery was not
Seriously.
Soylent Green.
Right. Yeah, especially since they'd already rode the Chuck Heston train all the way to Soylent Green already.
Yeah, seriously.
right.
How
So-
can under those circumstances, you'd think he'd be less affected by that, right? But that's
You kind of think they would know, like, what is it gonna be?
right.
You know what I mean? Like, what are they? Like, what do they have in rapid demand to make?
Right.
So,
That's fair.
but I mean, again, I'm really just kind of stretching for things to talk about. This is the best movie that I've seen this year.
All right. MZ, why don't you talk about this?
Yeah, I will agree with what Tiny said. Even before we started doing the review about Tilda Swinton's performance in this film, which is absolutely incredible. It really is amazing. I mean, she was great in Burn After Reading or Curious Case of Benjamin Button, if you've ever seen any of those.
She was kind of foxy in another favorite of mine, Michael Clayton.
Yeah. Yeah, and but she was far from foxy in this film, man. She was completely fucked up.
I would have hit that.
But
no,
I mean, it
would-
shows you, lover or hater. It shows the latitude of her acting chops. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the fact that she can be kind of like semi-hot on one movie, and then like this woman in another movie. It's
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
outrageous.
Yeah, it's
like Jem.
it's absolutely.
It is.
Maybe she'll be in the film. Who knows? And but it's her performance is absolutely amazing, and it really is the best in the film.
Yeah.
I gotta agree almost with almost completely with what Dynamo said. Not to ride your coattails, but I mean
Not to ride your what?
Whoa,
coattails.
Your what?
Not to rub up against your hole in the manscaping fund.
Man, if I was attached to your dick any harder, I'd be your nutsack.
Jesus.
What?
No, seriously, and even though some of the scenes
Seriously.
No, seriously, I'm cupping your balls right now.
No, seriously, literally your nutsack. Literally, seriously.
For realsies.
There were a couple of scenes in there that were rather dark, primarily towards the beginning of the film, and I really wasn't sure where this film was going at the beginning of the film, you know. But as around the middle of the film, 40% in, I'm like, okay, it's starting to pick up some steam, so to speak. And some outstanding performances. Although I felt that you really never got to know Curtis.
Yeah.
You know, I felt that he was just like, you don't know too much about him.
No, even after his exposition at the end, where he really tells you what his history on the train is, still that's not much.
Yeah, you know very little about him except the guy knows how to fight. You know very little about this man's character, even after the exposition near the end, and you know, it kind of took me out of it a little bit. But there were a lot of good other characters, fulfilling characters. One was Tanya. I thought Tanya was had a great story, had a great backstory with her kid and everything. I thought that was fantastic.
She's great.
Some of my favorite characters.
Stop kissing up.
Of course, I love Mason, Tilda Swinton. I loved Egghead.
Oh yeah.
And Egghead was great. And
excellent.
I saw
his
there was a lot.
Whatever that was.
Yeah. I saw there was some references made, like Egghead is in just his overall appearance and the colors that he was wearing. It was just a shout out to Richard O'Brien's character in Shock Treatment. He looked. I mean, you just slap a pair of glasses on him, and he looks exactly like Richard O'Brien in.
I mean, he
Shock
looks
Treatment.
like what's his name? He kind of looked like Richard O'Brien anyway.
Yeah, which helps. And
Richard O'Brien, for those who don't know, was Riff Raff in Rocky Horror, and was also in Dark City.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. He's and he's also he plays Cosmo McKinley, Dr. Cosmo McKinley in Shock Treatment. Also, there was a Shining reference. If anybody caught it.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think I did either.
The girl in the I guess it was either a sauna or she was taking a shit or something. The big fat one.
Oh yeah.
And that Asian guy was right behind him. I think it was the Asian guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can hear "Remembering You" from The Shining, the closing theme to The Shining.
Huh.
You can hear it playing in the background. It's very faint, but you can hear it.
Are you listening to this on headphones?
Yeah, you're a fucking psychopath.
No, it's it's just these things that I catch.
What are you smoking exactly?
And why aren't you sharing it?
Because that's some good shit, definitely.
Ed Harris was especially creepy in this film.
Yeah, it was a bit.
I thought he was very good, and if it wasn't for Tilda Swinton, Ed Harris definitely would have gotten the best actor, best performance, I should say, in this film, because he was really, really good. Very creepy, very, and he's very monotone. He's very dead in his delivery, which is really offsetting. It's very disturbing to me, and I thought his performances were really good. I thought John Hurt was fantastic. The teacher during in that
that
class.
was great.
Yeah,
that was my favorite scene in the entire film. I fucking love
It's
that.
fucking creepy, right?
It is, man.
Yeah.
And Another reference I want to make is that it seems an awful lot like Land of the Dead, where you have this enclosed
I actually
environment.
thought that too.
Where you have this enclosed environment, and you got the scrubs, and you got the people that are very, very well off, living the high life, and other people that just don't give a shit. They're just along for the ride, like those ravers that were in that one car.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of unusual, but you take it for what it's worth.
At that point, but it seemed kind of. Well, was it New Year's Eve?
Yeah, it was.
It was actually. It's a good point.
But but everybody kind of had that same motif about them, so it was like, okay, they're just a bunch of ravers. I don't think it mattered whether it was New Year's Eve or not.
It'd be weird that I'm sorry, Tony. Go ahead.
You're probably right, MZ. I think that was just supposed to be the sort of society that was on the train.
Right.
This very hedonistic sort of society.
But to allocate those resources for that, I wonder if the powers that be would. You know what I mean? That was kind of. It didn't take me out totally.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you had to do something. Like, think about, like,
fair.
I mean, it wasn't very much at the end of the day. It was some music and some drugs that they probably produced on they obviously produced them on the train.
Right.
Yeah, they probably got a meth lab on there somewhere.
Ooh.
Walter White.
I mean, you definitely got to the thing at the end that the engine was both a machine and metaphorical for the amount of Ed Harris actually had control over the train. Like that nothing went on there.
Right.
Yeah. I felt for the 2+ hour time, time that this movie ran, I thought it was very fulfilling. Not too much time of it was really wasted. To complain that maybe 5-10 minutes could have been shaved off is really nitpicking, and I wouldn't even bother saying that, but I did apparently. So take that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
But I won't say it's the best film I've seen of the year, but it's definitely a possible top 10.
Ooh, all right. Ravenshadow, what'd you think?
Cool. I thought this reminded me, it had elements of Gattaca. It had elements of the fake trailer, Ben Stiller and Tropic Thunder. A little bit of Under Siege, and a Coors Light commercial. A Coors Light silver bullet commercial.
You fucking idiot.
Come on.
Call him a fucking idiot. That's brilliant.
Nobody wanted a Coors fucking Light during some of those sequences.
I would have rather eat the protein bars.
The protein
than ever had a
bar.
Coors Light.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, on the fucking love train. No, I had no idea what this was about, aside from the title was kind of shitty. But it had Captain America, and I'm with that. Local Necronomicon boy. And I watched this with Wife and Shadow, and she was really, really into it. And that arm scene, she was really hung up on. She actually watched that twice. And I thought that was done
What
really
was your
cool.
fantasy booking?
Yeah. I liked how the dude had that Flavor Flav clock on him.
yeah. That's what I thought too when I saw it. I was like, first thing that popped in my mind.
Did you guys?
Yeah,
it was
boy.
driving both Tiny and I up a wall and back down again. Like who that guy was?
Was he somebody?
What, the arm guy?
Yeah, he was in a lot of stuff, and like once I
Yes.
say it, like he'll stand out like a sore thumb.
Yes.
He was in Trainspotting.
Yeah, Ewan Bremner, I
Yeah.
think is his name.
He was in Snatch.
He was
Yes.
the guy who shit himself in Trainspotting. Like, what was his name?
Oh,
Yeah.
like Chubb or Nub or something like that, like Pub.
He was kind of the retarded one.
Yeah, he slept with that girl,
Yeah.
the girl that was underage.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't remember his name though.
Oh,
But yeah,
shit.
that was him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ewan Bremner.
Yeah, and I had no idea. I might have been just getting a drink or something when the credits came on, but everyone in, I was really
Spud.
surprised by. There you go, Spud.
Spud, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this. Everything you're saying, Tilda Swinton was great.
Swinton?
What's-
Swinton? You thinking of?
She was good.
Yeah, I was eating. I
You
was eating
eating
frozen
Hungry
dinner.
Man?
Yeah.
Pretty fuck.
I kind of wish it was Captain America stuck on that train. Like if it was like Cap in the future,
It kind of sort of was a little bit.
you know. I like the Korean dude that I teamed up with, and also actually, you know what? If you do watch this with the subtitles on, because I had a conversation.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. You know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean.
Especially at the end. No spoiler, but there are certain versions of the film that don't have all the subtitles. And somebody I talked to who watched it had to download what the subtitles actually were because there was nothing at the end. So
for when he's talking Korean?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So definitely watch it with the subtitles on.
You know, it's weird. You know, it's stupid for me because it's like I didn't know that you had to turn the subtitles on. I figured that, you know, that here they are, they're talking to this Asian man and this Asian girl, and, you know, I thought that they were just communicating through, you know, he's just speaking a bunch of Korean gibberish, and the guy's like,
No, that was Korean, the language.
And everyone else is just like, oh yeah, you know, given the you know, the universal nod, you know, yeah, you know, and I, you know, or through body language, and it didn't occur to me that, all right, this guy's in the movie for quite a long time. Maybe I should start turning on see if there's subtitles to this thing. So I finally turn on the subtitles, and it's like about maybe an hour 45 minutes in, and I'm like, okay, I'll turn on the subtitles. 2
minutes before the end.
So I mean, despite that, I mean, I gotta watch it all over again with the subtitles because I missed like 98% of what that guy said.
Yeah, watch it with the subtitles on.
I think that's that guy's at least his second Trick or Treat Radio appearance.
Which guy?
The Weird.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
shit.
He was in The Good, the Bad, the Weird.
Yeah. He was the guy in the host too. He was.
He was.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was a host.
He's awesome. I like this guy a lot.
It was his house. One thing about the Chris Evans character, the Curtis character.
C-Pain.
I like that.
That's what I call him at the gym. We'll meet him to hang and bang.
He interacted with the girl who was 17, although I think by the time they got to New Year's Eve, she was 18. So I was like, yeah, that was there for a reason. But he mentioned that he was 17 years outside, 17 years on the train.
Right.
Yeah.
I kind of would have liked a little more of the backstory, you know, before.
Kind of would have liked that math worked out for him.
Yeah, it was a lot of numbers. I'm like, so how old was I? Okay, you know.
Yeah, that kind of speaks to what MZ was saying, is that at the end of the day, like, we didn't get any explanation as to why this guy, like, kind of was who he was or why he was in any position of power or whatever. You just kind of had to take it all on faith, you know?
Yeah.
You either buy it or you don't.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's hard because this review is kind of going how I thought the last week was going to go. With I forget the title of the movie, not Sanctuary.
The Sacrament.
Sacrament. I think it's kind of a good double feature, where it's
the excrement.
The excrement. It's best not knowing. You know,
what didn't you know in the Sacrament?
No. But like, I think if you talked about, I mean, obviously the tells in the Sacrament was. You know what the punchline is, as if you heard.
Are you talking about Vacation again? Because I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that it was nice going into it not knowing.
Right. Oh, right. You not knowing what.
Michael Ravenshadow not knowing.
Right.
What it would be, or the viewer.
Or Buttermilk Johnson.
Well, Buttermilk Johnson.
Buttermilk Johnson knew. He almost blew it for me.
Yeah. So trying to be spoiler free, but this was in the tunnel scene. With the guys, the motherfuckers with the axes.
Yep.
That got downright fucking treacherous quickly.
Yep.
Yes.
I like this scheme to penetrate the corridors.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yep.
I like that. Yeah, no, this was my my joint.
You smoke it like one?
It rhymes with toll.
Toll House?
No.
Toll House cookies?
Nah, I smoked a bowl. What am I going to do? I smoked a bowl.
What am I going to do?
What am I gonna do?
I
Do you have
can't wait.
a protein bar?
I can't wait until your teenage boys get into your stash. It's gonna be fucking.
Oh, they
awesome.
probably
Yeah,
have.
I don't want to fucking talk about it.
You don't think he's had a teenage boy in his stash yet?
Whoa.
Hey, I'll trade you a
That's
Hulk.
why he grew it in the first place.
I'll trade you a Hulk 181.
Oh,
shit. You can get that. I'll score you whatever you need.
Hey, Tiny, why don't you talk about this film?
Sure.
Okay. I liked it. No, I'm just kidding.
I liked this movie, but I didn't love it.
This movie was a lot of fun, definitely. there was a sense of humor here that you needed to sort of be on board with, as it were.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to make the leaps that this movie requires, you're just not going to like it. There's no way you can, right? Because it's just way too ridiculous. Like the fact that the only survivors in the world are on a train, like constantly going around the world, like once
That you
per.
know
I mean,
about.
what?
That I just yelled because I was too lazy to leave home.
Jesus Christ.
that you that you know about.
Yeah, that the only survivors that you know about. Yeah, but I think the plot of the movie, or the synopsis anyway, sort of insinuates that these are the only people.
Orson was alive.
Who was?
Orson.
More Colin Orson? That one?
Well,
He wasn't on Earth, though.
No, here's the thing, though. You also have to remember, Tiny, is that the engineer
Yeah.
was giving, was really in charge of, almost writing the information or writing history. So you really don't know what was happening.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I'll buy that. But once you're invested in it, and once you see, I think what really drove home what this movie was for me was the New Year's scene when the guy said Happy New Year.
Yep.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh, it's that movie. Like, now I get it. Now I understand how I'm supposed to be watching this. That it's, I don't know, it almost had a Wolfie, City of Lost Children. Who directed that?
Jean-Pierre Jeunet.
Pierre Jeunet.
Yeah, Jeunet. So it
Yes,
had
me,
kind
sons of
All
bitches.
day.
So I was talking with Dynamo while we were watching this, and it's just it's amazing how just film treatment or whatever can differentiate the look of something like this from Jeunet.
Yeah.
It's like just a film wash. That would be the difference. You know what I mean? The
Yep.
settings are the same. The characters are kind of very similar, the same. But it wasn't that quite. But at the same time, once I realized how I was supposed to be watching the movie, I would say I started enjoying it a lot more. And I think that I probably should have realized it when the Tilda Swinton character came on and did her first monologue. Her first presentation to the passengers in the rear.
It was brilliant.
It was awesome, and it also set the tone of this movie. I guess I didn't get it at the time.
Right. Yeah.
I think.
Right,
Go
that's
ahead.
exactly what I said.
You know what? I'm going to liken it to, and I actually hadn't thought of this until just now, but it's like a good wrestling match, right? When the guys are just sort of feeling each other out, not up, Ravenshadow.
Oh, shit.
I knew you were looking at me, but last night I just watched Owen Hart versus Bret Hart from WrestleMania 10.
Great.
And just watching them two, you don't know where it's going to go. It's back and forth. And then all of a sudden, it sort of sets in. You get the tone of where this match is going to go. I don't necessarily mean to do a wrestling analogy, but it just popped into my head. But that's sort of what was going on here. I think was it just was okay. Well, I'm not really sure what's going on. And then Tilda Swinton sets the tone. I think that scene sort of set it. And it's okay, now I get it.
I think
Did the gobbledygooker show up in the movie? I don't remember that.
Yes,
I think it was a Korean movies are notorious for having 180 shifts tonality in
Yes.
from frame to frame, and I
Yep.
think that was really it. I think those gags were there, but they were a little harder to swallow. While kids were being stolen, and
Yeah.
there was mass humiliation and stuff like that. So
But again, that's almost like a Juno thing, right? Where it's just there's this dark undercurrent to this really weird, goofy, circusy carnival sort of atmosphere somehow,
yeah, I don't think
And it all manages to delicatessen even it all sort of comes together to make this, I don't know, kind of artsy thing that kind of fucks with your brain
it's
a
tough.
little bit.
It's tough to do. This was a little more mean-spirited than anything that he would do, I think. But
Oh yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I think that this was tremendous. But you're 100% right in the fact that I didn't, for better or worse, I didn't get those gags played better after than they did while
Yeah.
they were happening. You know?
Yeah, definitely. It was fun watching this movie unfold. This is certainly, I mean, at the very least, whether we liked it or hated it, or whether anybody that watches it likes it or hated it, at the very least, this is a very, very bold movie. This isn't the type of thing that's going to come across like a Hollywood producer's desk and like, oh yeah, let's make this because this is going to make a ton of money. Right. This is a very, very weird movie, like a very strange movie. Not something that on paper makes fucking any sense at all. Not even while you're watching it does it make any sense.
No. Right.
You know, it's just that it kind of, I don't know, it kind of pulls you into it. There's nowhere to go. So you're either going down the train with them or you're going to shut the movie off. That's it. I mean, there are no options, you know. So, but once you're immersed in it and once you're just like, okay, yep, I see what's happening. This is the adventure that these guys are going on. This is the journey or whatever. Once you get into it, you're in it, and I don't think it lets you down at all. You know what I mean? Like from car to car as they're moving along, whether it's the school that they like come into or the aquarium area, whatever, or especially that the one where they sort of have that battle. I won't say anything more about it because the setup, the very brief setup with the young girl, and then the opening of the doors. Oh my God!
That's
like
great.
What a fucking scene!
Yeah.
Holy shit! I mean, it was on, you know. But I don't know. There's enough about this movie that I could nitpick and sort of, you know, say, you know, it's kind of silly or, you know, just not maybe well thought out or whatever. But you know what? It's just not worth doing that because at the end of the day, this is just a real oddball movie, just a weird, kind of almost abstract sci-fi movie, and it tells you what it's going to do. It does it. It takes some very strange turns along the way. There are some interesting characters, you know, that are, you know, built up very quickly, or engage, you know, that engage you very quickly, and some excellent acting. I didn't think Chris Evans was the best actor in this movie by a long shot, but I think he played his role well.
Yep.
I think the movie was written extremely well for what it for the environment, for the context, and for the story. It came together, and it at the end, after everything was said and done, it somehow fucking made sense. I don't know, but yeah, no, a really fun movie to watch. I mean, I think what I said the most while Dynamo and I were watching this today was like, oh my fucking brain, like what the fuck is happening here? Like, just when you think like you like on board and just oh, it's gonna be this and that, this is the tone and this is what's happening. You know, just like Dynamo said, it just spins 180, and it's like, what the fuck? There's a fucking dance club, and now they're attacking. Like, I don't know, whatever. But it's tough on the brain, but at the end, all the pieces come together, and it makes sense. There's no significant loose ends that I saw.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers. There's a lot of shit going on in this movie.
Yeah,
this film.
I think the thing, I think a few guys had mentioned that Chris Evans' character, what was the character's name again? Curtis, that's it.
Curtis.
So, Curtis, I think he was supposed to be just sort of like a blank slate almost, where you learn about things through him, you know, like that's why like I don't think they give you too much about him for that very reason, but just to echo a lot of what other people had said already, like Tilda Swinton was incredible in this movie. She was like she stole the show. Like there were some great performances, but she absolutely stole the show. And the movie, I'll pull a Ravenshadow here, and the feel for me, it had a very Matrixy sort of feel to it for me. You know, I'm not. I know there's some mixed opinions about the Matrix films here, but
I definitely thought of Zion.
Yeah.
You mean Matrix out of the Matrix, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like
real world.
Just about learning about what's going on, like, because you're like, you know, the character was like thrust into this situation, and then he learns about the Matrix and the red pill, the blue pill, whatever, you know. Yeah, but I just felt like this did a good job of sort of giving you only what you needed at that particular moment, and then as the story unfolds, you get more and more and more, and so it's not. Yeah, they did.
An example of that, I think, is when he was saying like, "How can I be a leader with two good arms?" Just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, this doesn't make any sense. But it does wrap all those things up in a tidy package by the end of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's actually one I hadn't even thought of. But yeah, now that you mention that makes a lot of sense now. When you in hindsight, you know. What Ravenshadow? You're pointing at me.
Well, no, I'm pointing at if Tiny was on the computer.
Oh,
He sees us.
He does. He can see
I do.
us. Yeah.
So I
can
was
see
like,
you. Yep.
You
there
can
you
point
go.
right into the camera right there.
Good
Yeah.
fucking point, Tiny.
Thanks.
You're on the fucking ball, kid. Use the grape.
Used to grape. I thought I think it was good seeing Chris Evans like looking all rough and like he didn't look like Captain America. Like
Not
that's
at all. No.
and I think that's actually a
Yeah.
good thing here because I didn't want him to look clean cut and like blonde and like Steve Rogers. Like I'm glad he looked a little rough, had the beard.
Yeah, his natural hair color. I mean, spoiler alert, he ain't blonde.
Shit, you just ruined it for me.
Don't he fucking want to blow Winter Soldier for you. But he ain't blonde, kids. The carpet don't match the fucking drapes.
Wait, is he going to be on our contest too?
How would you know?
Well, I know Dynamo told me.
I know a guy.
I know a guy.
Now I'm gonna get all subtexty here, Dynamo. So subtext warning. It's not really subtext warning. It's pretty clear as day.
It's okay
actually.
when it's
Subtext
there.
alert.
It's all right when it's there. There's a time when you were like trying to fucking shoehorn subtext into over the top.
Yeah, you're getting pretty deep. You're getting pretty deep.
Well, I think this is this, and it's not really even masked. It's there for you. It's like a microcosm of like of what society is like, right?
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
the people in the tail, the poor people who have to fight and claw for everything that they have, and then you have the upper class, that are at the head of the train.
And that was it, basically. No
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah, no middle ground really. The interesting thing, and this I'm gonna give credit to somebody on the IMDb reviews here.
They said this movie's gay.
No.
It's usually the level of quality.
This is one of those movies that I watched, and as soon as I finished, I wanted to find out more about it. Like I sort of like started reading reviews and digging into it, and but this guy here, S. Aiken88, I don't know, he probably doesn't listen to the show, so it doesn't matter. But one thing I thought was interesting was he said was that it's a small scale depiction of society at its most basic proletariat level when you think of like the people in the tail, and right up to the elite in perfect order. He says you see the evolution of civilization from simple beginnings to science to education to quality, luxury, then hedonism, wastefulness, and eventual demise in exactly that order, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
So I wonder now that I'm thinking about it, is there more to the different layers of when they go through from the tail to the head of the train? It's sort of like this, almost like this evolution through society and mankind, I guess, if you want to get that deep into it. But I just thought that was pretty interesting, and just thinking about, I wonder if there was a forethought put into which one happens where, like, because they were beautiful too when you started getting into like the middle of the train and you see like the what was it, where they had all the flowers and I don't know, the garden
the
area,
greenhouse car, and then
yeah,
the sauna car with that yellow light and everything like that. It looks beautiful, and the classroom. I mean,
Totally. Then funny how those characters stood out so much being there.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
the ragtag band in the classroom.
yeah, because the characters really define each car.
Yeah.
I think of all the archaic important arts that have been passed down into this like dystopian future, like making sushi was very important
Sushi.
to teach people how to do, right?
Yeah.
Well,
It's
couldn't-
very important.
They couldn't figure out a way to fix the fucking train without kidnapping people, but like, we're gonna teach somebody how to make sushi.
Well, it was a very important thing. They did it twice a year.
Yeah. There's no hot pockets in that fucking train.
Well, there might have been. I don't know.
And those kids were dicks.
Which ones?
The school kids.
Oh, yeah, they were brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
That whole scene, we mentioned it earlier, but that whole scene was just creepy.
It was.
When they were singing,
the
and
chanting and everything.
Yeah.
And that reminded me of this. Why can't I
I
remember?
thought
the
it was
fucking name?
hilarious.
Oh, it is, but it was scary. Like, I mean, like kids talking like that.
Yeah, I was kind of creeped out by that, man.
Yeah.
Pussies.
I think it was supposed to ride that line between being really creepy and very funny.
Listen, Monster Zero's pubic hair is creepy. Like little
Yeah,
kids
it really
singing.
is. You want to see?
No. Now, if they were little kids singing at night, then that'd be scary.
I think, and I can't say that I've seen a ton of films from this director because I've only seen The Host, I believe, but I don't know. Like he also is in that category. We were talking about like Ronnie Yu and also Tsui Hark, recently, And I just think he's like a masterful director. I think
Yeah.
just the composition of the scenes, everything is just so well done. And I think every shot of this film was deliberate. I think everything about this film was done for a purpose, you know. And now that we're sort of in hindsight thinking about all these things that happened, definitely want to see this movie again. And I have a feeling there's going to be other things that we'll notice, you know.
I'd like to get some maybe some feedback from our buddy Ghetto Tim from Korea.
Yeah.
To see like if the society appreciates like the high level of genre filmmakers they have right now, because like we don't, like, the United States maybe doesn't have that right now. There's Tarantino and Rodriguez. Steven Spielberg, I guess, is in a different place, but like who are the great American genre directors right now?
Right. I mean, it's
Or the great British. I mean, there's like Edgar Wright
Mhm.
is Edgar Wright for a reason, because he's the only game in town right now. You know, like
Yeah, but he's something special and unique too.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are 3 great Korean genre directors right now, and I'm sure that I would have left this guy off yesterday. I always forget about this dude.
yeah.
So
And this film was also it was produced by I'm drawing a blank on his name now. Well, we just reviewed one of his films. Let me pull it up here in a sec. Get the full cast and crew here. But we're produced by Chen Woo Park.
No
Oh, yeah?
shit.
Yeah.
No shit.
Okay.
Wow.
So apparently this when Bong was filming The Host, I guess the story goes that he was going to a comic book store and he found this graphic novel, and he just sat there in the store and read it like from beginning to end.
Which is how you really should do it.
Like he was sitting there in the store.
Except
Yeah.
that you should pay
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
don't, if you tried that shit in Dynamo, you'd be fucking out of it.
There ain't a fucking library there, asshole. Why don't you fucking buy the book?
Where's your fucking card?
Would you say that to him?
Yeah. What do you read it fucking backwards? Was it a manga?
Yeah, well, I know it wasn't. I know Michael Ravenshadow wasn't, because he was only there one time. It was for film rehearsal. He actually never came to shop.
That's true. And I still had the Booster Gold and Blue Beetle
either the-
Hero Clicks.
Either of its 3 locations.
Let me pull it up here on Wikipedia because I'm not remembering it all that well. But it says in late 2004, Bong visited his regular comic book shop in Seoul, Korea, during pre-production of The Host. He found the French graphic novel series La Transpircienne. Man,
The fucking transporter?
yes, so let's call it The Transporter. And finished reading the entire series while standing in front of the bookshelf where he found it. He was fascinated by ideas of people struggling on the train for survival, and every cabin is classified in social stratification. Bong showed the series to his friend, fellow director Park Chan-wook, who loved it as well. And in 2005, Park's production company secured the screen rights for the series for Bong. So they've been working on this for years now. Like 9 years ago is when they first started this and got the rights to it. So. And just some facts about the film. I was curious myself because it was hard to tell with this film what kind of budget it had. Like it was hard to tell. Some of the set pieces were gorgeous, and there was very little CGI.
Really were.
Yeah, very little CGI. There was some bugged me actually. Let me point that out. There's one scene where I saw blood dripping down Curtis's face. It was CGI'd, and I don't know. Why can't you just, unless they did it in post? I just don't know why you just can't do that, like with makeup,
Mm-hmm.
But that's beside the point. That's the only thing. The budget was $39.2 million, is what they estimate here on Wikipedia, which I guess seems about right. It's not a big blockbuster. It's not an indie film by any stretch of the imagination. And in the box office in Korea, it's already made $80 million. So it's made double what it cost. And this is one of the top grossing films in all of Korea. It says that it was released on August 1st in 2013 in South Korea. And Snowpiercer, let's see, it earned $53.6 million US, and is currently, as of April 2014, the 10th highest grossing domestic film in South Korea.
Wow.
So I guess they're considering it a domestic film because, yeah, I mean that's it's good to see, and it is coming out in the States. It's going to get a limited theatrical release in June, I believe, June 27th.
Right.
So I'd like to check this out in the theater if it plays anywhere near her.
I'd be really curious to
Yeah.
see what the American response is to this.
Yeah,
I don't see this. I don't see this playing well in a theater, to be
No.
honest.
No.
No, there's too many. I mean, there are scenes where it works, and then there are scenes that are just like long and sort of quiet, and I don't know, like it's like 50-50 throughout the movie for me. Like the action scenes, clearly they'll play to an American audience, but the scenes that are more foreign, I guess, and the way that they're delivered, I don't see it happening.
It'll be fine. There are I mean the people who are gonna you have to realize that we're not going to be able to go see this at AMC probably. So the people that are going to search this out are okay. Plus, much to their credit, like I never thought I'd say this 10 years ago, but Disney and like I feel even way back to Peter Jackson, I feel like they're making the action movie audience a little bit smarter. As in testament to no other reason that all the kind of straight action movies are very kind of parodic in the sense where they're like the Expendables, or it's kind of taking a piss at it in a way. I mean, when you see Winter Soldier, to bring Chris Evans again.
Spoiler alert! I'm the one guy that hasn't seen it. So
Okay,
help
yeah,
me.
I haven't seen it either.
When you see Winter
seen it.
Soldier, like that's a different quality of film than you're thinking that you're gonna see. Like you think you're gonna see a fun movie, like that's a really good, intrigue-filled action movie. So I think it will play fine. I mean, Chris Evans is fucked in the United States for some reason, because if you look at the amount of money that he's made, like he's not. If he wasn't Captain America, he probably wouldn't be working in this town again, because his little indie movies that he makes like either don't come out or they get like completely fucking buried. So
Did you watch that one where he played the needles,
the Iceman,
where he was about like
a boot.
No, like about it was in AIDS. In the AIDS.
Oh no.
In the AIDS, what?
No.
Yeah, no, I forget. It was called like Piercer, or it's on
Snowpiercer is about
AIDS Piercer.
The Iceman?
No, he was a
Puncture?
lawyer. Puncture. That's
Really?
fucking good. Yeah, Puncture. He plays a coked out lawyer.
Right. Didn't make
that-
any money though.
No, but it's a good fucking
Yeah,
movie.
It was, but like
Highly recommend it.
he was in this movie. He was in a movie called The Iceman that we were just talking about. That was awesome and had a real hard time even coming out, I think.
He's the shit. He's fucking.
He's great. I love him.
Team movie.
He's no baby goose, but he's good.
One thing, just to note, one thing that's a little strange about this, especially with the social hierarchy, that's supposed to be, in evidence on the train here. Usually in this sort of thing, and I don't understand quite why here we don't see it. You would see the lowest class providing some commodities, usually work, right? But they weren't doing anything.
They were.
What were they? Well, they weren't really, though, because they could really get that from the other cars too, right? It was kind of it was a cop out, I think. I mean, if that's all they're providing, and they only really? That's it?
Okay.
But I mean, there's a freaking like whole ecosystem that needs to run, and they're just like 1,000 people in the back of the train that are just
they're
like
not
eating
people. That's
protein
where
bars?
that's where you're getting wrong. They're not people. They're cattle. They're treated in the same way that like a herd animal is. They're fed on a cart. They're all fed the same thing. Their food is produced. It's not like a natural their food is a byproduct.
Yeah.
And they take what they need.
Yeah, but
and
you want to
thin out the herd.
But you want a return on your investment, right?
Yeah, but I think
I
think it's a statement on how frivolous the upper part of the train is society, that they're gonna have a bunch of dirty people later
But
around
not
in case
the
they decide that they
engineer.
want.
There's nothing frivolous about the engineer, and that's who was conducting, if you will, this whole social dynamic.
Well, I think he was a little bit removed. Like whoever, if it was Tilda Swinton or whoever was in charge of the day-to-day thing, like I think that they were there in case they needed like a violinist, really. And I also think to a degree that he thought he was righteous. Like, so he was keeping them alive because it was like the right thing to do. But the reality was they were treated like cattle, and they would only take what they would need. Like, if you look at the whole group of them as an animal, like very seldom, like as a someone who has lived the majority of his life on the East Coast, but has been around, like down south they use most of that animal, right?
Yeah.
But rich folks don't eat chitlins, or bull dick or anything like that.
Yeah.
They just take.
Take a look at Tilda Swinton's character when she couldn't have her sushi.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The look on her face just.
Well, that shit. That was
just,
only once a year. That was cruel.
That was just brutal.
But yeah, like I think that like if you look at cattle, not a herd of cattle, but if you look at it as a piece of meat, how they're treating those people, they only take what they need. Like in other societies, almost every other society except for our society uses almost every part of an animal.
Yeah.
You think you think it could have been an analogy of possible cannibalism?
Well,
no.
I mean, there's sort of. I don't want to say too much, but I mean, they obviously talk about cannibalism a bit.
Yeah.
But they don't. But they. Let's not talk about.
Yeah. Let's not go there.
I don't want to ruin it too much.
But yeah, it makes you wonder through the whole movie. But yeah, I mean, maybe there's something Dynamo. Maybe there's something there in the idea that this guy is trying to be sort of holier than thou, and it's just like, I'm the savior of humankind, essentially.
Yeah.
And I'm going to provide this social welfare to these people, and this is what I'm taking from them.
I think the train is like kind of a metaphor for him altogether, because it doesn't stop, it goes, and he does what it takes to make society sustain in his vision of it. And he's both monomaniacal and megalomaniacal in the sense where he is very single-minded, and at the same time, like, obviously twisted, because he's keeping these people alive just because it's the way that it ought to be.
But don't you? I don't want to get into it too much, but don't you think it's a little fucking stupid that he needs what he needs because he designed that thing the way he designed it?
That's not what happened. Parts became extinct.
Yeah, I was curious about that too. I didn't. It's hard to really broach that topic here without spoiling much, but it seemed very like convenient.
Silly?
Yeah.
Silly.
Yeah.
Like
Well, this is kind of like where you and I think, unless we're talking about something different, big kids' jobs differ, coming from more of an engineering point of view than like a software point of view. Like, I guess it would be the same for actual hardware and that sort of stuff, though. Like, sometimes you just can't fix that stuff, and if there's nowhere to call and get that stuff from, then it's like it's broke forever.
Yeah, yeah.
So
But I mean, like even like the second helper, okay, that like came out and like fit in that like area that clearly was made for a person. This I won't get further into it than that, but I just think that it was awfully convenient, and it was the only reason, the only commodity that whole society of people had to offer, and it just happened to be conveniently necessary. Maybe too conveniently.
I think he was just playing. I mean, I guess to a degree, I'll agree with you on what you're saying right there with that thing. But I think as far as what those people, whether or not he needed those people, no. But he was playing God.
Yeah, no, most definitely that. Yeah.
The only other thing that bugged me was when they had the shootout, when they were on that, like the train took the corner.
Yeah.
I don't know why that bugged me a little bit, but
too.
I'm able to just sort of dismiss it. It's like, whatever, the movie's...
You just thought it was stupid?
Yeah.
It was a little stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little far-fetched.
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it was just going to do what it was going to do. And there were, like a comic book, there were pieces that were high points or that were supposed to be action points or whatever that just happened to be a specific face-off between those two.
Yeah.
With some, cause for tension.
Yeah.
Without a direct interaction. Let's say.
Exactly. Yeah, and I totally get it. That's why I'm able to just sort of write it off. I'm literally nitpicking because this was a really good movie. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, the scope of the idea was obviously overwhelmed by the ability of the special effects and the budget to deliver that particular scene, but I still thought it was cool.
When did this turn for you guys? Was it when the revolt basically happened, or like is that like when you guys think that like the movie you sort of it clicked for you?
I was intrigued. I'll be honest. I was intrigued by the way they took call.
Took call?
Like right to the point where they established that this society was so organized that as soon as the door opened, everybody knew to stand in rows of 5.
Yeah. Oh, right.
You know, like and they just would click off.
Yeah.
You know, like
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Right. So, like and it also said something for it, and it was one of those things where it seemed like kind of a neat throwaway stunt, but if you getting to the end, you know that even that number is important.
Right.
So, and I think that's probably a degree of it too. I think that was. I think the other part of it may have been. I mean, you don't want to draw too much into it. You think when even somebody who's obviously crazy, you want to as a writer, you have to be able to make sure that people know they can rely on the narrator if that's how they're getting their exposition. Mm-hmm. But like, I also think the commodity of what we were kind of dancing around with the end at the train there was also kind of part of like natural selection, I guess, too.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about this off air because it's too spoilery. But I want to talk about the end. I'm curious to see what you guys felt about the ending. But you know what? Let's move on and go to the verdict. And
I will say, I do think it is very. I'd like to see if somebody survived in the graphic novel or not, or what happened. But I think it was a very heavy-handed metaphor about the. America, we'll say's handling of the world by having it be the Korean girl and the small African American kid that went away to start society, I guess.
That's not a spoiler at all, but that's
no. That's in the middle. That's
Jesus Christ.
That's in the middle. That's in the middle of the movie.
Yeah,
right.
All right, verdict time. I should have cut you off.
Trick or treat, baby. I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
I'm sorry, I was reading my Godzilla note.
Yeah.
Everyone dies except the Asian girl and the black kid, motherfucker.
Not to spoil it for you, but
all right. Well,
that's in Godzilla.
We should have a huge spoiler built into the end part every time.
Could you just put a slide whistle over that when I do that? I think it's very heavy-handed, that.
Society's like.
Or I could do like a sci-fi, like.
Yeah.
Or.
Bloody Good Horror ran really long the other day, and our good buddy Joe from Bloody Good Horror, as we know, could drink Michael Ravenshadow under the table.
Whoa,
he
now.
got loaded and started naming people he fucked in high school, like on air.
Wait, did you just say he could drink Michael Ravenshadow under the table?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a compliment.
It is the Ravenshadow.
It's not, yeah.
We got a table right here, Tiny.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
But yeah, he started naming people that he fucked in high school, and Eric had to go through and he put like a slide whistle or like a cowbell every time he said it. He was so pissed.
All right, let's go with the
Great
verdict.
podcast, Bloody Good Horror, by the way. Much better than this one.
Good. So we're gonna tell you whether we think this movie was a trick or a treat. In Ravenshadow, a trick is bad and a treat is good. You got that?
Wait, what?
All right. So, and any final thoughts you have, Dynamo?
Okay.
True.
All right, MZ.
Oh man, this was great. Yeah, I'm gonna go with treat.
Yeah. Ravenshadow.
Wait. So just to be clear. No, it's a fucking treat.
You sure about that? You don't seem too sure.
No, I watched it with the wife in shadow. both
with
of us.
the wife in shadow.
With the wife in shadow.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like one.
Did she like it?
Yeah, she enjoyed it. She
Okay.
really dug the arm scene.
Yeah.
Which one?
The fucking. Well, I don't want to be like fucking
Yeah.
slide
The
whistle
spoiler.
Casas over here. Fucking. And apparently she's a big fucking crush on Chris Evans.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, so I was like, well, that mean we can see Captain America now? Will you come with me?
Yeah.
And she was like, fucking slow down.
She's like, oh, I'll come with you.
Yeah, well, yeah. Treat.
All right. Tiny.
While I thought that some of the core components of this and some of the setup for this was maybe a little bit lazy and a little too convenient, it was still a very, very fun movie to watch that looked great and played great. And I don't know, I didn't love the beginning and I didn't love the end, but I still enjoyed this movie a lot. It's definitely a treat.
Cool. I'm definitely going to say it's a treat as well. I love what I've seen of from the director Bong Joon-Ho.
Bong.
You want to say that, Ravenshadow?
Yeah. Bow a bong, a bong, a dang.
No,
ding.
please.
Yeah. This is the Bong show.
Please don't.
That's how Jesus built my hot rod.
There you go. It's like, Cactus Jack. Bong bong.
What the fuck?
Jesus
I am
Christ.
I am a second away from eating or raping anything near me, and you're really.
What happened to
pushing
your
buttons.
pizza?
What
I
did
don't know.
happen to
Where
you?
is it?
It was like 90 minutes ago. So, anyways, the films I've seen from this director I've enjoyed, and I've been waiting to see Memories of Murder.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anyone else has seen that, but that's one of his earlier films that he did. He wrote and directed, and supposed to be phenomenal. So, I actually do have a copy of that. I've just been waiting to see it on IMDb. It gets an 8.1,
Whoa.
which, as we know, we know how IMDb is. So.
Yep.
So that sounds and looks pretty phenomenal. So I'm really excited to check that out soon. But yeah, man, this is definitely a treat. This is a really good movie, and I definitely want to check it out again. It's going to be hitting theaters in limited release in June. So if you have a chance and it's playing near you, and you dig what we thought about it, we all thought it was a treat. So go check it out. So next week, we're going to review. I didn't have a movie picked out, so we just decided just now.
And by we, me.
I mean,
he.
me. Dynamo had a little input.
That's involved.
Yeah, Dynamo was involved. And we're going to review the film The Ghastly Love of Johnny X.
The Ghastly Love of Johnny X.
Yeah.
I think I've seen this actually.
Really? From 2012.
Shut that mouth.
Shut your mouth, boy. Let me just read real quick. A truly mad concoction blending 1950s juvenile delinquents, sci-fi melodrama, song and dance, and a touch of horror.
Nice.
Everything in just the right combination to create an engaging big screen spectacle.
I actually lost
Johnny's mom.
I lost a television over this.
What?
The first dancing and singing number, I put my foot directly through the television.
You did not. You haven't seen this.
And look,
I actually have. I watched it up to the first singing number, and I put my foot through the.
You have not.
I did.
You
I
did?
have.
What made you watch this?
Because it looked interesting.
When?
And then
It just came on.
And then I destroyed my television.
It just came on very recently.
So, Trick.
This was on streaming or something. But I have definitely seen it. I saw enough of it where. I
No,
was
you
like,
saw the Wasp Woman from the Moon movie, which was on streaming.
No, it was this.
No, it wasn't.
It absolutely was.
I'm looking at this, and it stars Will Keenan, and Will Keenan is a trauma veteran.
Oh,
there you go. There you go.
So Lloyd Kaufman.
Monster Zero. It's also got Reggie Bannister.
No shit.
Yep.
Sweet.
You guys are gonna get an earful next week.
Well, we've had some good movies lately, so it's about time.
Yeah, it's about time we have a shitty one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And next, you know what? Let's fucking do this. Next month, let me see what the dates are here. So, next week we'll still be in May, so we won't start it next week. But the week after, in June, let's let the listeners pick our movies.
Oh shit.
Because it's me and Monster Zero's birthday month, and so we either have to fight to the death to see who gets to pick the movies for the month, or we'll just let the listeners do it.
I'm just saying, last time we did that, like, and he's more of a peer than a listener, I guess, but Tim from Korea picked Taxidermy.
And that was a good review.
It was a horrendous movie to have to watch, but it was memorable and interesting, at least.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Just remember, guys, I watch these at the coffee shop most of the time.
Right.
Well, we had our friend Luan suggested a couple movies last week.
Oh, Snoop.
I wouldn't mind seeing like Eastern Condors or something like that.
Eastern Condors,
Yeah, so we got some good ones. So anyone out there, if you have a submission, put it on the Fib, tweet it to us, whatever you want. If you tweet to us, it's at the Deadites. Just let us know, and then we'll start picking through them in the next couple weeks. And so Dynamo, we'll get to pick, but you have to make a good case. So make a strong case for a movie, and then we'll pick it. If it's on, it doesn't have to be on Netflix instance. It's preferred if it is, but it doesn't have to be. It can be on anywhere. We'll find a copy.
It's kind of droughty on there right now.
Yeah, it
to
is.
be honest, so I prefer not almost.
Yeah. Okay. So pick whatever. It doesn't have to be Netflix. And we'll see if we can do it. So, MZ, you got to take off, right?
Yes.
We're 6 minutes late. You're going to turn into a fucking pumpkin?
No. Turn into a blumpkin. Turn into a big pile of shit that's just like spilling out all over someone's face.
Huh. It's not
normal.
How's that for a visual?
It's not the
It's
blumpkin
not a
that I'm
very
used
good
to.
one. Yeah. Oh, you're used to getting them?
It doesn't change my actual appearance that much, though.
I don't know who's doing the verb, but...
Who's doing the verb?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
MZ, why don't
All
you
right.
go ahead and just say bye to the folks?
Yeah, I
all
gotta
right?
get out of here. I'm gonna have a protein pack. Arrivederci, douchebags.
All right, man, we really got to record a promo for this thing.
Shouldn't we write a script for this?
Nah, fuck it, man. We'll do it live. Hey, folks, this is El Goro.
And this is the Cancer Man.
And we are the hosts of Talk Without Rhythm.
The only podcast that will not attract the worm.
That really doesn't explain what we do.
Well, we watch 2 movies a week, we review them, we bullshit, and sometimes we say something funny.
Yeah, but most of the time we just piss people off.
Well, the American film viewing public can't handle most of what we have to say.
But if you think you can find us on iTunes. If you do a search for Talk Without Rhythm, you can also find us on our website, TWORpodcast.blogspot.com, baby. Deuces.
What's up, y'all? It's me, the Yeti. Telling all the ladies that they couldn't be more fine and that we should knock those boots like Frankenstein. When I want to get my nerd on, I go to Facebook and I go to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. That's the place where I get to talk about all the hip new horror movies, all the cool comics.
What comics?
RPGs, video games, you name it, we're talking about shit on there. And you could not be any cooler if you were the coolest kid in school. Be the first kid on your block to swing that cock over at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, search for Trick or Treat Radio, ask to join, and it's like Nerd Nirvana, baby, without the shotgun blast. This is the Yeti, signing out. See you at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group.
Follow us on Twitter at The Deadites, TheDeadites.com, and TrickOrTreatRadio.com.
We have returned from break. We're going to play that jam on the 31st Dynamo?
I don't know. We have a lot more time to fill, so we might. It's I kind of sneakily groomed the set list the last couple shows to what I thought was going to be on the record, and that did make the cut. So I don't know, maybe. Unless we write some new songs in between now and then, and since I'm probably going to die, that's unlikely.
Since you haven't eaten. So, for anyone coming, you want to talk about the Three for All for a bit?
Sure.
We just have, like 10 days from
yeah,
this.
it's going to
Jesus.
be great. lot of preparation. Like this, like I don't know. See, that's the thing that bugs me. Like, I almost admire people who show up and set up some amps and put in their guitars and they play the show. You know what I mean? Like, it may be because the band who we're playing with are kind of the people that I mentored under, if you will. There are literally already people at the Lucky Dog Music Hall setting shit up that people wouldn't notice otherwise, but just little things, little sound things, little visual things. It's going to be a nice night. There's a lot of work in this, a lot of money put into this. Let me assure you, when I say come to the free-for-all, it's for you, because we could fill that place in twice, and we're probably not going to recoup the amount of money that it went to make this one happen. But you'll really enjoy yourself. A lot of work went into this. And like I said, there's literally people down there now working on things. Jeff Jones is back in the mix for this one.
Jeff Jones?
It's going to be pretty fucking phenomenal affair, I think. And that's before talking about how two of my favorite bands of all time are going to be on stage on that night. So if you've never seen Teeel, here is a perfect opportunity. If you've never seen the Curtain Society, you better, because I make no guarantees that they will ever be able to, that they're ever going to do this again. So this show is going to be a blast. Like, all everyone involved has thought about is how to make it a good experience for the attendee. I almost said listener. And I can't wait to share it with you. I'm so excited to share this night with you, and the sound and the songs and the bands and everything about it.
And the cuddles.
And the cuddles in some cases.
The puddles, more like.
The puddles of cuddles. Well, so there you go. So we have, this is pretty much, I think, your last show, last Trick or Treat radio show.
Yeah,
we'll have a full week to do. But so the thing is, if you have not bought your tickets, you could buy them in advance. Go to 3forall.brownpapertickets.com, and at the door, Ravenshadow, $10.
For me?
Yeah, for you. You have to pay. You have to pay.
For you, it's $25.
So at the door, $10. If you buy them in advance at that website I just gave you, 3forall, that's you spell out 3, T-H-R-E-E, 3forall.brownpapertickets.com. If you buy them in advance, $8.
Shit.
But if you're a listener of Trick or Treat Radio, there's a discount code. If you type in TORTR, you're going to pay $6.
Fuck, I'm doing that right now.
You better.
That is actually pretty serious.
It is. So if this is probably the last week that we're going to keep that going. So if you're on the fence and you want to go to the show, you can go for $6. That's for being a fan of Trick or Treat Radio, for listening to us. You get a discount. As Monster Zero said, that's 40% off.
Shit, I don't know what the numbers are, but sweat
I just
with
said
us.
40%.
Well, I don't know what you're saying. I can't hear you. Johnny. I don't know what kind of jibber jabber you're fucking.
Jib jab.
Jib jab, nib nub, nub nones. Who the fuck? But it's a fucking. You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. So
fucking welcome.
So there you go. You're gonna have Beaver McD versus Captain Cities kicking things off. You're gonna have Teeel. You're gonna have the Curtain Society. You're gonna have the Deadites. And hosting, who else but our own Michael Ravenshadow with the Rev. He's going to be on his jock all night, I'm sure.
Oh my God, yeah, I can't get the guy fucking off me.
Yeah, no, it's the other way around.
Oh shit.
He's got a restraining order against you.
God damn it.
And this is the only time she's ever been a third wheel, Myra.
Yeah. Oh my Lord.
Both from the Evil Streaks, of course.
Not a third wheel to me.
No, she's the whole train.
So
she's my Snowpiercer.
Oh Jesus.
That came out wrong. Very talented lineup.
Except for you.
Except for me. I shouldn't be in the room, folks. But really, sweat with us. It's gonna get hot.
Yep, we'll have some Deadites merch. We'll have some. Yeah. If you still want the physical CD, we're running out. So literally, we have like a handful of physical CDs for the EP. If you want it, like this is your last chance probably to get them. So
I doubt that.
The EP?
Yeah, I suspect we'll make more.
You're a fucking salesman, motherfucker.
It's all digital. We're gonna have a new.
So we're not
album.
going to do conventions anymore?
No, we're gonna have a new album.
Yeah, but variety is the spice of life, sir.
Limited edition.
Dynamo, I'm trying to get them to fucking come to the show and buy it.
Motherfucker.
Jesus. I know that we're gonna have more.
Damn it, word to snur, bro.
We have-
you have such weird ideas of things and think what you do is what everyone does, so I get worried sometimes.
There's gonna be buttons. There's gonna be T-shirts.
Yeah.
All sorts of cool
Maybe,
stuff.
maybe a Grimbro print.
Those
Those.
are definitely dwindling, and we
Yeah.
probably won't get more of those.
Yeah.
Limited edition.
Limited, and we'll sign them for you to devalue them even more.
Oh shit. Patrick's got one that was signed.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. So there you go, folks. Make it down to the 3 for All on May 31st, Lucky Dog Music Hall, Worcester, Massachusetts. It's going to begin at 8:30, right, Dynamo? Or 8?
8:30 first band.
8:30 first
set
band.
times 8:30, and after this is a word that super producer and live engineer extraordinaire Roger LaValle and I use all the time when setting these up. So 8:30 first band. Next band 9ish.
Yes.
Band after that 10ish, and follow so forth and so on.
Yeah, and the Deadites
It's
will go on 11:30ish.
11:45-ish.
11:45ish. Yeah. So there you have it. Hope to see all your smiling faces there at the 3 for All. Dynamo, you want to talk about motherfucking Godzilla, didn't you? Or did you
Huh?
forget?
Fuck.
Yeah, I didn't.
No, I said you wanted to talk about it.
No, I did forget.
You did forget.
No,
Do you want to talk about it?
No, I didn't
Question.
forget that one.
That's what I'm saying. You want to talk about it?
Yeah.
Where's your fucking food?
Yeah.
It was
I'm
good.
not-
I was.
I just
smoking a
get told
butt
that they're
outside.
leaving now, and I'm just telling them not to bring it.
That's fucking outrageous.
Yeah.
Where did you order from?
From special lady friend.
Say their name.
Dependability Express.
Say their name. You did say that you were dying. Do you need a snack? You want me to go get you a snack?
Let's vilify them by name on air right now.
Special lady friend delivery service.
That's not right.
She doesn't. She wants you to die.
Oh.
I think that's what's
Wait,
going on.
she was gonna actually bring you. She's not a delivery person. She's got no investment here.
Well, it's her fault. I didn't eat.
She has no delivery skills.
She doesn't know how to. She has no prowess.
No delivery prowess.
No.
So, Dynamo, do you want to talk about Godzilla right now, or what?
I wouldn't mind
Yeah,
talking
I
about
would
Godzilla.
like. I
actually,
would love to.
Did anyone else see it besides Dynamo and I?
I've heard about it.
other people have seen it.
Well, here in this.
Oh yeah. I don't
I'm
know.
aware it's a film.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tiny, you didn't get a chance to see it.
No,
Okay.
I don't think I'm gonna actually.
No. Well, maybe Dynamo's review will sway you one way or
We'll
the
see.
other.
We'll see.
I always keep my expectations pretty realistic because
Come on.
I'm a pretty fair judge of what
You're a fair judge.
of what I think I'm gonna like or not.
Oh, okay.
Like, I heard a lot of people like really repping for this hard, and I walked out of the theater feeling like the internet played a really mean trick on me. Like I feel like somewhere like there was a hidden camera and Bill by Force, who was talking about how great this was laughing hysterically at me as I walked out of the theater. This movie wasn't bad. It's worse. It was only kind of I thought Godzilla looked tremendous, and the parts that he was there were tremendous. And
Do you mean by tremendous? Do you mean very, very big?
Yes. that's
no,
what
I
it
mean
means.
awesome.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I thought the CG was good. I think that I understand. While I disagree with the cock tease thing, I thought the CG
I beg
was.
your pardon?
Who was it? Kevin Clark on the Fib was saying that he felt like the movie was a cock tease because there's really not a lot of Godzilla in Godzilla.
Yeah, I'm gonna find that for this. Yeah.
And I understand why there wasn't, because the CG wouldn't have held up. It would have looked like Transformers. Your eyes would have been sick of it by then. My argument to that is then why make it, right? like if you can't have the Godzilla enough in your Godzilla movie because you feel you have to hide it to keep the quality as your CGI, like kind of put all the money in certain places is what I feel like they did. Maybe I'm wrong. Why do it? Why make this movie at all? Like you don't make the Avengers and have the Avengers only in it like for 20 minutes. And there were a couple times in this movie where they would start having a monster fight, and then it would just be the next day.
What, really?
Yeah, like you know the scene where the Comic-Con leaked footage that showed the other monster?
Yeah.
That was the whole thing. That was it. They didn't really go at it there. The other monsters were fucking stupid. Like I didn't like the way they looked, or they didn't. The CG on them wasn't nearly as good as or set up as well as Godzilla. And I feel
what's the name of this movie? It's Godzilla.
Godzilla.
Right? Whatever happened to Godzilla?
Yeah,
where Godzilla movies are just called Godzilla now?
It's Godzilla.
Listen, here's my
the
thinking.
Spanish version, Godzilla.
Godzilla.
I've seen every cool shot in this movie before. I've seen the guy clearing his window to see the monster. I've seen the shot on the train. Between Cloverfield and what was the Pacific Rim?
Yeah.
This shit's all been kind of done before in that sense, so that hurt it. But the thing that bothered me the most was I understand you're not making a low-budget movie, so you don't have the constraints of like a Dawn of the Dead or some of the other low-budget movies where you fill your space with character. But the way these films are set up now, like World War Z, where they made these big globe-trotting events to show how it's affecting the whole entire world, is very impersonal. And especially to get somebody from point A to point B, like just comes off like video game cutscenes. And also my fears were kind of realized. This felt like kind of how I felt while I was watching the Dark Knight movies, where I was like, this is cool and all, and it's all right, but it's not really what I want from my superheroes or really what I want from my Godzilla. Like, this wasn't very fun. Like, I didn't think that this was especially fun. And that's kind of what Godzilla's all about for me. And it just...
What about Godzuki? Was he in it?
No. No. And anybody that was in it, I can't tell you why they're important at all, because other than the main character who ended up in the same place after a monster showed up every fucking time, very seldom the monster question was Godzilla. He ended up dirty, barely conscious, with soldiers standing over him to take him to the next place.
Yeah.
And it was just like, seriously, like out of a PlayStation game. It was just not very interesting. Like, and that was kind of my take on this. Like, if I could buy the last 20 minutes with Godzilla doing his thing on Blu-ray, I would buy it and watch it and enjoy it, because there was some clever stuff and they did a bunch of shit. Godzilla bit a lot, which he obviously can't do in the Kaiju stuff. I like that
That's
quite a bit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The fire looked awesome when he kind of hulked up to do the fire. Looked awesome. Everything about Godzilla was awesome. Unfortunately, there wasn't very much Godzilla, and there was a totally out of place. The last like 6 minutes had two things in it. It had the post-Hurricane Katrina, everybody hanging out in the football stadium scene where, there's crowds of people coming in, and a crowd comes in and you don't see the person that you're hoping comes in, and the main character's deflated. Then the little kid runs away because he sees his mother in the crowd, like, seen it a million fucking times in all of these. And they're starting to be close together now, these kind of global, I'm losing my word, epidemic films. And they're not, it just rang as, this is what you did here. Just rang as paint by numbers. And then there was a scene, I'm sorry, I feel like everybody's either seen this or they're not. And if not, I don't think it ruins the movie if you're going to like it. There's a scene where Godzilla kind of gets up and goes away, and everybody's like, "Hey, Godzilla! Woo! Yippee!" And it was completely tonally out of place with the rest of the movie. Like, it made it like groan-inducing. You know, it would have been like, I didn't see Man of Steel, so I'm certainly only going off the way like I felt about not liking kind of how it looked tonally. But like, it would be like Man of Steel was the way it was, and then all of a sudden he grabbed an American flag and put it in the ground, and everybody cheered. Or like, if at the end of Dark Knight ended with, you know, them all carrying him through the city saying, "Hooray for Batman!" Like, it just didn't work. Like, like he still, you know, fucking ran amok on a bridge, you know, like he was still Godzilla, you know. So like, and also probably the thing that the only thing I really hated in the movie that I thought was like just fucking stupid and which I guess is probably better than being boring and not fun, is like there was this one character who gave all the exposition about Godzilla and how he decided that Godzilla was there to, like, what Godzilla's role in this was just fucking harebrained. Like,
was that Ken Watanabe's character?
Yes.
Yeah.
And even worse, that it was kind of right. Like, it was just, there would have been, you could have salvaged the whole movie by like Godzilla running amok and just killing everybody. But yeah, I just thought it was fucking boring. Like, I'm glad everybody else liked it. There's very little enjoyment in this terrible, awful, ugly world. So if somebody got something from it, good for you. But I can only imagine what would have happened if I didn't pay $5. But I was bored and irritated enough that I left behind a 3/4 full tub of popcorn.
Holy shit!
Because I was just like, I was irritated. I was like,
wow.
what a boring movie. Like, that's just kind of how I felt. Like, how boring. Like, at least World War Z, like, had some interpersonal moments in it.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like this. Like, there was the opportunity to do a cool little sub movie where he at some point ends up with some little Asian kid that's not his, the main character.
Whoa.
And
I thought you meant Godzilla.
Yeah.
That's a movie.
And you could, you know, and you could have had some fucking. You could have had some fucking shit to get him back to his parents, but nope. Like, something happens way off in the distance, and then next morning, here's your kid. Like, it's just like, whatever. You know, like, they're not going to do anything. The main character was as much of a spectator in this film as we were, and he didn't do really anything. Like, we were already watching it, so we didn't need him to sit there in the foreground to, you know, other than for maybe scale, to have these things going on, you know, before it. Like, Godzilla, maybe it was a strong, it wasn't quite Aliens versus Predator bad, but I'd say there was probably a strong 35 minutes before Godzilla showed up, maybe.
Yeah. Gedzuki.
So, yeah, I just thought this was fucking boring. I think that everybody was, I know a lot of my friends went and saw it in 3D and IMAX and all this other stuff, and I feel like they might have, you know, been bowled over by getting their balls tickled because I thought this was boring. I thought this was a boring movie.
So
yeah, I just don't get it. Like, I don't understand why in this day and age, with the movie-going audience that's out there right now, this is what they're doing with Godzilla. I just don't kind of get it, I guess.
You want to know why, Tony? Tony,
Oh, Tony, why?
Hey, this is Tony. I want you guys to tell me why they make this movie right now.
You want to know why?
Forget about me.
The box office, $211 million.
Come on. Well, that's, you know, honestly though, that's because they're. Let's be honest. Like, there are people that go to the movies because somebody tells them that there's a movie that it's time to go see it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not because it's a good movie, and it's not because it has any substance to it at all. It's just like, this is the movie that's out right now. You need to go see it.
Right. It's like a good pop song, right?
You know, there's like how many hundreds of millions of dollars behind the movie, and how many millions of dollars are in advertising. Like, it's no small number. You know, it's extremely significant. Without the advertising budget that it had, they wouldn't have the release that they had. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure that at the end of the day, they made a shit ton of money, but they did it to a formula. They did it because they spent money on advertising. They did it because they were working the machine.
Right. And when you spend, let me see, they spent, the budget was $160 million. When you spend $160 million in a movie, it's just like with anything, like with video games, with with movies. When you spend that much, the producers will make you follow a specific set of
Right.
like a certain template, because
the whole deal. The writers, the
Yeah.
director, everybody. Yep.
absolutely, because like this is the tried and true method. We need to follow what's worked before. This is the Hollywood method. We need to do that. I totally get that. I saw Godzilla and I didn't like some of those aspects of it, but for the
Yeah.
most part, I enjoyed it and I had fun. But like the things that Dynamo pointed out, some of the things I totally agree with the main character being very conveniently at every single time there's like a kaiju battle, and
I mean, the main thing of it made sense. If you were starting in Japan
right.
and going to San Francisco, all those places are believable stops for him to be.
Oh, sure. But for him to narrowly escape with
But
his
for the
life,
monsters to go that same way is
yeah.
the problem. He should have. It's cool. He was everywhere he's supposed to be. It's the fact that the monsters were going there, especially when their end game was Nevada. Like, that's not a straight line from Japan. They could have gone any fucking way they wanted.
Right. So let me go ahead and read. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but Kevin Clark on the Fib posted, and he says, after seeing Godzilla, the words cock tease come to mind, and that's all I have to say about a film whose low points far outweigh the high ones. So we had some other comments on here. Andy Lundgren says, so no full frontal on Godzilla? And Ledger says, totally disagree. I think it was a fantastic old school giant monster flick. I loved it completely.
See, I trust Ledger with my life recommendation-wise.
Yep.
And I just don't know what movie he saw. Like, this was a super contemporary pan-epidemic movie. This reminded me more of that virus movie than anything else, like the way it was. Like,
there's no regarding taste. I mean, people have different tastes. Like you guys both grew up loving Godzilla films, right? I mean, Ledger has talked ad nauseum about them, and so you have too. And I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I've seen a handful of them. I haven't seen all the Godzilla movies. I've seen a few.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not as emotionally invested. So for me, I was just enjoying it at face value, and I think they were smart with the way that they handled the CGI, because the CGI looked fantastic.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But they limited it because I think if they showed more, that would have been way over budget, and also I think you may potentially get sick of seeing it, or maybe not sick of seeing it, but you run the risk of when you see it too often, it not being as cool. So I think that's why they were sort of did it that way, and I think the way that they showed it was kind of smart, because they showed it in like reflections or from other people's perspectives or in a camera or whatever. They did some neat little tricks. It was a little frustrating because I did want to see a little bit more like full on like battle, but I know that shit's expensive.
But what was fun about this? You can justify the nuts and bolts of it, but what was fun about this? Like, I didn't think there was anything fun about it.
You think,
like, dudes walking around in the dark? Like, what is fun about dudes walking around in the dark? And this was just dudes walking around in the dark.
Dudes walking around in the dark.
They walked around in the dark in the fucking island. They walked around in the dark in San Francisco. They walked around in the dark. They walked around in the dark because you're making an apology for the way Hollywood makes movies.
Don't swallow the mic.
And not telling me why this is fun at all. You're like, oh, well, if they made it over the budget, they did this and they did that. But nobody's telling me why it's fun. I know why Hollywood makes movies. They're going to put out a fucking piece of shit Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie in a couple weeks. It's going to make a fucking good $1 trillion.
I know you're hungry.
Transformer movies.
Eat the mic.
Transformer movies make a ton of fucking money. I know why they make those that way, because they're going to make money no matter what.
Right.
And they're bad. But what was fun about this movie? At what point were you like in
the experience that I had with it?
Because of how you saw it in IMAX, not because of that it was well written or well shot.
I don't think it matters if it's IMAX or not.
I guess, but like without the bells and whistles, I'm telling you that this is a bunch of dudes walking around with flashlights on their gun, shooting around and seeing parts of monsters.
Cool, and that's what you took away from it.
No, that's what was on the screen. Like that is a literal.
Well,
if I was doing the literal translation of the Right Round video, I would say I'm being tied up by a purple ribbon right now while I have a fucking perm and an eye patch. I am telling you
That's a
what
fucking
went on
movie.
in that fucking thing right now. There's
Don't-
no subjecture here. This is the fucking movie.
Don't tell me just because you want to eat a fucking pizza. You
I'm
don't tell me
tell-
what
no,
I'm thinking.
You could think whatever you want, but if you want to make stuff up, like it's like Monster Zero saying that, like, oh well, I think that this movie was really about the the construction of the Empire State Building. But no, it's 100% right. They smartly didn't show very much Godzilla because it couldn't look as good as the times that they showed it. They always showed him, they showed him, with the exception of the very end, he was always at night or in the rain or in the fallout from a fucking monster battle. And that was maybe 10 minutes of its 120-minute running time. The movie's called Godzilla. If I went and saw Abraham Lincoln and I got 10 minutes of Abraham Lincoln, you'd be pissed off. But you're apologizing for it because it was made with CGI.
I am still waiting for Wolfie to explain what was good about it, besides the fact that he enjoyed it. Like, we all like going to a movie. Like, I like going to a movie. I like eating popcorn and drinking soda and stuff.
Aside from the Hollywood, like I said, like the love story at the end, like, made me roll my eyes. Like the thing where they met, at the end, I just rolled my eyes, and that was like groan-inducing.
When Godzilla fucked Mothra?
Yes, no, that was hot. That was nice. But I mean, like, I had fun with it. I think they told there wasn't very many holes in the story. I like how they worked it into sort of real events that happened in the world, like Hiroshima and things like this. And I like the way that they weave that into history.
I like that too.
Okay.
In the first 20 minutes.
No, it was all
good.
through the whole thing, and I thought it looked good. Like, they did a really nice job with it, and but that's not good enough for you. I liked a fucking movie, okay? I'm sorry, I liked it.
But here's
Sorry.
the thing.
But why'd you fucking like it?
You're the guy who walked out of Avengers or Batman and took me and Tiny to task because we liked Avengers. But you can't tell us why
I liked
this movie
Avengers
was
too.
fun. Like, if you could make Avengers and make it cost $100 gazillion and have the Hulk walking around the whole fucking time doing Hulk shit and fighting Thor, like, there's not a reason to make a Godzilla movie that Godzilla is only in it for 10 minutes. Like,
or that Gadzuki is not in it at all.
right.
Yeah.
Or have shitty other CGI monsters. Like, those monsters didn't even look like they had any sort of anatomy of any sort of realism at all. They look like computer graphics.
Well, they were. He's not real.
Right. But, I mean, that's not how it's supposed to look, right?
A lot of autistic people enjoy Godzilla.
What? What does that mean?
That's true. No, it's fun. I think it's cool. I think it's cute.
You think it's cute?
Yeah, no, it's nice. That's true. There's some weird correlation.
What the fuck?
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying it's a fact.
Like, I just can't. I want somebody to come and explain. Like, here's a perfect example. All right, I didn't like Pacific Rim that much. I thought it was pretty okay.
Hold on,
right?
hold on.
Chris was able to explain to me why it was fun. I want someone to explain to me why this was fun, because I just thought it was at its best dire and at its worst boring.
Did you like Requiem for a Dream?
Yeah, I liked it fine.
What's fun
You
about
tell
that?
me one fucking moment of that's fun.
Because
Please.
it's not fucking Godzilla. Are you
The end scene with Jennifer Connelly. I had a lot of fun
you're
with
gonna
that.
you're gonna compare. That is you said a lot of stupid things, but that's the stupidest thing that you've ever said. You're gonna compare Requiem for a fucking
No, I'm
Dream
not.
with Godzilla.
I'm comparing fun, and what fun apparently equals good to you.
Sometimes it does, but there are movies.
This was supposed to be a fun movie. This wasn't
Says
a
who?
drama.
Says
It
who?
wasn't anything.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Who says it's supposed to be fun?
Michael Ledger said it was fun,
Okay, well, put his balls.
but
in that.
you said it was fun too.
Yeah,
just
I had
now.
fun with it. I had fun. I got out of the movie and I was like, that was a fun movie. I like that. I like seeing Godzilla. I like seeing the fucking monsters fight each other.
Well, you must not have liked seeing it very much. You must have a very small monster fighting appetite because you didn't get it
But
very
honestly,
much.
just in that one sentence, that's something. He enjoyed watching the monsters fight each other. Okay. So
And then when they weren't on screen, I enjoyed, for the most part, the story that they told and how they worked it into history.
But what else?
But what else?
This was a movie about a bunch of people following around partially submerged Godzilla.
No, I thought it was a movie about people in the darkness. Now you're changing it.
Yeah, well, that all you saw Godzilla was his big Godzilla fin for most of it. But otherwise it was literally soldiers would show up, monsters would kill them, right? Not even soldiers with tanks necessarily. Monsters would kill them in the dark, right? You'd hear whoa, whoa, over 2 different times, Tiny, 3 different times. There was this fucking scene. Hey, everything clear over there? And then they press the fucking button that doesn't even exist anymore on the walkie-talkie. You'd hear.
Are you sure the bulb in the projector was working in the theater you went to? Because I don't even remember any of this.
Well, then your testament to why it's fun is totally not valid because you didn't even watch it. It's like talking.
You're right. I fell asleep the whole time.
It's like talking to Michael Ravenshadow about movies.
May 31st, Lucky Dog Music Hall.
I really felt that was my first thought that the internet had played a really mean trick on me.
Yeah, if this doesn't have Gadzuki, then I'm all set. That's all I'm saying. But no, for real, like that Hollywood movies, they're either dramatic, you know what I mean, and then they have like the budget that they have, or they're supposed to be fun to watch and it's a blockbuster and they're gonna make a freaking $1 billion, right? This is one of those movies that's supposed to make $1 billion because people have a good time sitting in the theater and watching it and cheering, right?
And the other difference between, take Requiem for a Dream, it was about addiction and drug use, and I got 90 minutes of addiction and drug use.
Yeah,
I didn't get 90 minutes of fucking Godzilla.
But what was fun of Requiem for a Dream?
Nothing. I hated it and will never watch it again.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Now, what if Gareth Evans had directed this movie instead of Gareth Edwards?
I guarantee you we would have had more Godzilla because he is the fucking king of putting everything on the screen.
What if that scene with all the old rich white guys throwing money at the prostitutes? What if in that scene it was Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling going ass to ass with the dildo?
Oh, shit.
That would have been okay.
Or scissoring.
And they were all like
Jesus Christ.
I found I won't even say it's a bad movie. Like it's just boring. Like somebody decided not to show
Godzilla?
very much. Yeah.
It looks to me it looks fucking boring. Like the stuff that I liked about the old Godzilla wasn't, I don't know, it was just the corniness of it, the fact that you're just gonna get a big fucking monsters fighting,
But you could have done it. You could have done. I mean, though I wasn't a huge fan of it, like Pacific Rim did it, right? Like,
they more or less, yeah.
You could have done it without it being goofy. Like,
yeah,
you could have made it grim if you wanted to. It wouldn't have been the way that I would have liked it, but it didn't mean that it wouldn't have been good. Like this was just boring. Like
I'm just thinking the stuff that I like about the old Godzilla movies is just like a dude in a suit, like he's literally punching Rodan, like like the rubber suit is like bending and the wings are going in directions that they're not even like ergonomically capable of going. Like it was just fun, you know what I mean? And it was like a suspension of disbelief, but at no point in watching a classic Godzilla movie are you like, that is not a giant monster.
The same shit happened in this movie over and over again. Over and over and over again. We're on a train track, and then the monster's there, and everybody's going to scream and yell, and lights are going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Where we are in the city after the monsters have rampaged through San Francisco, and it's dark, and we're walking around, and it's like aliens, and then a monster's going to come, and we're all going to run around and flash our lights all around. It's just like this dude, forget about probably him being able to convince his way on this mission was probably the second least realistic thing in a monster movie in like 20 years, next to the kids just being able to wander away from the military installation in Cloverfield.
Right.
But he just I don't know, he had, I don't know who this actor was or what else he was in. I didn't research him at all because I didn't care. But he seriously fucking had the range of like that dude after he got his arm fucking broke with a sledgehammer, like throwing a fucking football. Like it just went fucking nowhere, like nowhere at all. Like he didn't do anything. Like here's a monster, here's my dead dad. Like oh my dad's dead. I'm gonna put my fucking hands in my.
Wait, I have a question for you. Who had more screen time, Bryan Cranston in this movie, Godzilla in this movie, or Jaws in the original Jaws?
Jaws, though Jaws was interacted with the whole movie though.
Was it Jaws Whedon?
Yes, it's Joss Whedon.
So again, your very pointed quasi attack / point isn't valid because Jaws was interacted with the whole time.
Jaws.
Godzilla was completely, ineffectual in this.
Godzilla was the hero of the people.
Yeah, right. Whatever. If you don't have a conversation, then you don't have a fucking conversation. Like next you're gonna call me a troll because you don't have anything else to say.
No, it's Ravenshadow's gimmick.
I mean, it's a valid question. Bringing up the Jaws.
Yeah, one of your favorite movies.
It is, but Jaws again. You interacted with him. Godzilla was totally.
You didn't either.
Godzilla
How do
was
you know
totally.
it was a him? How do you know Jaws was a him?
His name was Bruce. Godzilla was totally ineffectual in this movie, except floating along a fleet of ships. And then he showed up in Hawaii and walked around in a circle with a monster, and then it was the next day, and then he fought the monsters at the end. That was all the importance that Godzilla was. I think they were supposed to be showing that he saved a bridge, but I couldn't tell what the fuck was going on. Like.
Also, just to close the loop on Godzilla here on the fib, Nathan, our boy Nathan Cody Nance says, very excited to hear whether you liked it or you're wrong.
Whatever. I would love Tiny White to see this movie.
Yeah, I might go see it just to weigh in on this. There's no way in hell that I think that I'm going to enjoy that movie. The trailer certainly doesn't excite me at all. Nothing about the trailer looks remotely interesting to me. It looks like a really well done CGI movie that I have absolutely no interest.
Let's go back to the Jaws comparison for a minute. Let's say Godzilla was on the screen more, which I don't think he was.
Yeah.
But let's say, how much did the main character interact with Godzilla, who wasn't the main character in this movie, even though his name was in it? How much did the main character interact with Godzilla in this movie? How much did anyone interact with Godzilla in this movie?
Barely any.
Right. When I saw
case closed.
Well, you know what I got a
Mic
fucking
drop.
I got a fucking shitload of when I went and saw Captain America. Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because it's his movie. So I showed up to be there. If I went to go see fucking a band play, and I saw all these other fucking shit going on, and then David Bowie came out at the end for 20 minutes and sang Space Oddity, and went home, I'd be fucking pissed because this fucking sign on the marquee said David Bowie.
And you won't have that on May 31st with the Lucky Dog. You will get so many fucking Deadites. You need a fucking scorecard.
Yeah, there's something there for the Jaws thing, though. Like, as soon as you realize, everybody's seen that movie 100 times, but as soon as you realize that there's a freaking killer shark in the water, the rest of the movie, that shark is just there waiting. You know what I mean? Like, whether you see the shark or not, there is a physical presence, whether or not it's physically present on the screen or not. They're talking about it, they're planning. There's fear, there's tension, there's suspense, and everything. And it doesn't sound like Godzilla has.
Sure,
it sounds like there's a lot of passive observation.
And frankly, I was doing it just to be a dick.
This
it's one of his favorite movies.
This score was terrible too.
It wasn't very memorable.
The score was awful. Like, think about all the memorable Godzilla shit they could have stole over.
Well,
the years.
Jaws didn't really have a very memorable score either.
No,
right?
not at all. Right? I hate all it. Remember, children, wherever you go.
I'm trying to find out how long Godzilla was on. It says, like, when did they show the monster? There's this one graph I find, and how long it takes to actually show the monster. Gojira in 1954 took like 20 minutes. 22 minutes, I'm sorry. Godzilla in 1956, it took about 30 minutes. Godzilla in 1998, it took over 40 minutes. And then in Godzilla...
What the fuck
this
is
one
Godzilla
here,
1998?
That's the Matthew Broderick one.
Well, that's not even fucking Godzilla. Like,
How about
why do we even have to talk
1985?
about that?
Well, I'm just going through this. And Godzilla 2014 apparently was just under an hour before it showed up.
So I was even like...
85.
What's
That's
up?
fucking ridiculous.
Godzilla 1985.
And you also have to remember that this is a 120-minute movie, I think. Which means that you've gone
Is it
halfway
really
through
that short?
without
Really?
seeing Godzilla.
Wow, I didn't think they made movies that short anymore.
I know, because I wanted to see
Oh,
Godzilla.
2-hour movie. Okay, yeah.
I wanted to see Godzilla and Spider-Man on the same day, but Spider-Man was so fucking long, I couldn't make it happen.
You only see them fight each other.
I wanted to see something.
That should be fair. I mean, how long in the Christopher Reeve Superman movie did you wait to see Superman?
But it was
happens.
about him. He was there. Like Clark Kent was there. Like he might have been a baby Clark Kent. He might have been a flying through space Clark Kent. But there was that character was there. You watched him grow up, and it took a while for the shirt to get ripped and everything else. But Christopher Reeves was on the screen.
I mean, I'm not autistic, but what does Godzilla do when he's not destroying cities?
He swims.
Does he frolic? Like, what would he be doing?
He goes
Would
and
he-
lives on Monster Island.
Would he have a cave?
He goes and lives on Monster Island and sasses baby Godzilla.
Right.
That's a fucking movie. I mean, what does he? Does he like?
Well,
Nap?
according to this fucking hacker writing, he comes he appears to fight monsters.
Right.
He was
And
a
that's-
He's he's the alpha monster.
That's just total like Hollywood overwriting. We just can't fucking have shit go down, so we have to explain why every little thing happens. But like, it just made it like Snowpiercer is a perfect example. Nothing in Snowpiercer holds up to scrutiny. And if they spent a lot of fucking time explaining it, it wouldn't work.
Right.
They spent a lot of fucking time explaining Godzilla, right? And made it seem less realistic. When at the end of the day, they could have had just more fucking Godzilla running amok, and you would have had a 10 times better or a movie at all. Like I felt like this wasn't even. I felt like this was a fucking highlight reel for new 3D and fancy IMAX theaters and roller coaster theaters and everything else. Like I felt like this was the first one of these movies I've seen that wasn't even a fucking movie. Like the plot of this was so thin. And the characters were so underdeveloped. Like it was every cliche of about a Hollywood movie times 10, I feel.
Yeah.
Like,
I have to say, as much as I really didn't love Pacific Rim, you saw a lot of robots fighting monsters.
Right.
It was a
started
movie,
off with
it was a
robots
movie
fighting
about
monsters.
robots fighting monsters, and you saw a shitload of that.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm just looking. There's another graph here, just on the same site. And when do they show the monster? And of all these films that they list, Pacific Rim is the shortest time from the start of the movie till you see a monster.
Yeah, it's because love it or not, like he at least knew what he was making.
Oh yeah, I mean Guillermo gets it, right?
Yeah, totally.
Whether you like the movie or not, I mean you got what you wanted. Like you want monsters fighting robots, you fucking got that.
Right.
You got it in spades. So
yeah,
he should have made Godzilla.
Yeah, he should have. I don't remember what movie we were talking about, but like I remember thinking that somebody had solved all these very economical film problems and made them work, but didn't like think about the fact that he actually had to go and make a movie. And that's what this felt like. Because really, like Godzilla looks great, and the fact that you don't see him that much looks like they put all the money in those scenes. And but again, then why make that movie? Like why? Like if you can't do it, why make it? Like, and again,
I think they could, though. Honestly, I just don't think they did.
yeah,
That's
I
the
don't
problem.
know. I feel like Avengers raised the bar for me for the point of what a Hollywood blockbuster could be, to the point where there's no fucking excuses.
Yeah.
That was well written. It was a little easier. Like they did have a cheat, But the Star Trek movies as well. To be honest, like.
I mean, even
you can
honestly,
fucking do it. You can make it earnest. You can make it fun.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
make it scary. You can make it exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as long as you don't get too fucking hung up on what's gonna look good in these fucking 3D theaters. And
Right.
That's what I felt like this movie was.
Yeah, sure. I mean, even in Avengers, that gigantic, whatever, flying whale thing, like, the scale of that thing was pretty significant, and it was very believable when it was crashing into buildings, it looked real. You know what I mean? Like you weren't there like, oh, shitty CGI. You're like, oh shit, that's interesting and clever and looks like it's there, feels like it's there.
I don't think it always looked good, but the Hulk always looked good.
Yeah.
You know.
But my point being that it doesn't have to look good. It just has to be awesome. You know what I mean? It just has to have a point and satisfy its reason to exist.
There wasn't a lot of Hulk in the Avengers, but I bet you there was more Hulk in the Avengers than there was in Godzilla and Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
And he was shared screen time with 5 other superheroes.
That was quite a bit of Hulk in the Avengers between the scene on the flying fortress and
it's a fucking helicarrier, Tiny.
Helicarrier.
Yeah.
Shield helicarrier, sir.
I knew somebody was going to call.
I'm telling you, if there was a way you could go see this and go see Captain America in the same day,
yeah,
like you would marvel at one
So
that
to
did it
speak.
100% right and one that did it 100% wrong.
Yeah.
So I think the trick, right? Trick.
It's not even like it's unrateable for me. It's just so boring.
Really?
Like I felt like it was like.
Is it unrapeable for you?
There was like I don't really. I love Pink Floyd, but I don't really care for like the actual Dark Side of the Moon jam. And you used to be able to tune my stereo speakers by pressing a button, and it would play Dark Side of the Moon. And that's kind of like what I felt like this was, just like a highlight reel for CGI and 3D scenes. This movie played nothing as not like as a normal movie.
So anyone out there listening, if you feel the same as Dynamo, if you agree with him, if you disagree, let us know, because I'd be curious if what you found fun about this. Let us know. Tweet us. Put it on the Fib.
Give us 4 examples of what you thought was fun
voicemail,
about Godzilla.
whatever. If you let us know, because I'm sure there's some differing opinions out there. But all right, we need to get to feedback. So let me go ahead and do that. Actually, let me go and I'm gonna read our boy Luan's emails. He sent me a couple emails here. Luan says, "What's up, Deadites crew? Luan here again. Another great episode 94, which managed to crack me up. I listen to you guys every Friday at work, and I almost got in trouble for laughing so much. By the way, I work at a funeral home in California, which is not the ideal place to be laughing your ass off." That's amazing. That's incredible.
You gonna wake the neighbors?
Yeah. People are like crying around him, and he's just laughing. Now about The Sacrament. I totally agree with you guys about the film. I thought it started out strong, but as the film went on, it became more implausible, and by the end, I think its shortcomings far outweighed any positivity the film had gained. I also agree with Tiny regarding the amount of times any one of those guys could have picked up a gun or weapon to use and didn't.
Anybody would have.
Yeah. A quick suggestion for the show, if I may. I think you guys should have a quote of the day section for each episode, because some of the shit you guys come up with is priceless. I think the quote of the day for episode 94 should be Dynamo's "The 5-Knuckle Shuffle." Man, that's fucking gold.
I don't even remember.
You were talking about Cena and one of the Bellas.
Oh, yeah.
You said if you were Cena, you do the 5-Knuckle Shuffle all the time.
I do. I've not seen that. I do it all the time. I'll tell you this: The Sacrament had only 20 minutes less Godzilla than Godzilla had. It's running time.
Oh man. Luan also says, Dream Home, Ip Man, and I Saw the Devil should all be available on Netflix if any of you are interested.
Word.
So we'll consider those submissions, and also we'll keep his other ones in mind, Easter
Yeah.
Condors, and
Yeah.
consider those submissions. Also, if you guys would like, I could send a burned copy of The Seventh Curse for your viewing pleasure.
Yeah,
Just
let's
so
do
you know.
that. Let's have that be his
There you
pick
go.
right there. I'm sure we don't need him to send a burnt, but that's the one I'd like to see the most.
All right, cool. Well, let me see if I can dig that up, Luan. If I can't, I'll let you know. But
Is Chong fat in that? Let me look.
go ahead and look, and I'll continue to read.
I think
Luan.
I heard the gents do it, and it fucking blew my mind apart.
Nice. Okay. It says, P.S. Can't wait for episode 100. Should be one for the record books. Let's hope so. We got to put it together. We're getting, yeah. And he sent me a follow-up. Sorry, forgot to include this in the previous email. I would love for you guys to review either Eastern Condors or Dream Home. Either one would be awesome. Also, Dynamo is correct. It's a Vietnamese name, and thanks for the props, guys. Your names are pretty kick-ass, too. Also, Dynamo, keep the tunes coming, man.
Oh.
What tunes?
You singing on the show.
Oh, all right.
May 31st, Lucky Dog Music Hall.
And so he gave another follow-up the next day. The subject of this is anime recommendation for Ravenshadow and the Deadites crew.
Oh.
Hey guys, I was listening to episode 67, the Higanjima Vampire Island episode. And in that episode, Ravenshadow talked about the last good anime he watched was Fist of the North Star. So I decided to write in the recommended anime for you guys to check out, especially Ravenshadow. The anime is called Attack on Titan and is available on Netflix streaming. This anime kicks ass. I also wanted to recommend a good anime adapted live-action film called Rurouni Kenshin, the movie, adapted from Samurai X anime. It is a really good action film with some really good action choreography. There is a part 2 that is supposed to hit theaters in Japan soon. That's all for now. Talk to you guys later. Luan.
My good friend Damien, in regards to Attack on Titan,
Yeah.
said his only complaint about it was that he hadn't watched it earlier.
Nice. I actually saw that when I was just looking for films earlier, and I remember Luan mentioning it when in the email. So
We should have done that.
Is it Attack
well,
on Titan?
it's episodes. It's like 20-something episodes. So
Well, then maybe if we don't come next week.
Whoa, whoa.
some of us might not be.
Whoa. I will add that to my queue
Yeah.
tonight.
Attack on Titan?
Attack of the Block.
No. Attack on Titan.
Oh.
It's a series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will attack the Titans.
Jesus.
No, I will. I will check that out. I will.
Yeah.
I will do that.
He sent you an email specifically for you.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna vibe that.
You better fucking
I'm
watch
gonna
that.
do that. We're gonna-
You better report back.
I will.
All right.
I promise.
That's Luan. You don't fuck with
I ain't
Luan,
gonna
all
fuck
right?
with Luan.
Yeah.
He knows dead people.
Remember,
Teddy laughs at dead people, apparently.
No, I said he knows dead people. I didn't say he laughs at them.
No.
We gotta go. This is almost. We're over 3 hours.
I gotta
No,
get,
we're not.
I gotta
No,
get
not
there,
yet.
too,
Not
before
yet.
We
go.
gotta go.
We have voicemail and trick or tweet. All right, here's the voicemail.
Dear sirs, I've got good news for you. Since Ravenshadow's idea of promoting next week's show is to go outside during the breaks and blow smoke signals to nearby Indians, I have taken it upon myself once again to get people to show up. And yes, you're welcome.
Hey.
Now, normally I do this using verbal threats and superior firepower. But recently it occurred to me, what do I need the threats for? The only people who are going to hear me are the ones who listen to this podcast, which means I'll probably reach a wider audience using 2 cups and a string.
Okay.
I was then reminded of the 3 words I have followed all my life. Violence solves everything. It was then that I realized that the problem wasn't that people might not go to the Lucky Dog on March 31st. It's
Wait.
that they might go to a different bar on March 31st.
Is it March
Is
31st?
But
Is
if
everything
that
2
wasn't
words
an
or 1 word?
option... Ah, there we go. Couple dozen more of these and we should have a packed crowd.
But I like,
See you at the Lucky Dog.
I like that burgers though.
Hey.
Yours in friendship, to Isaac.
Isn't it May 31st?
Yeah.
No, it's okay. It's
course.
okay. Look, let him say whatever he wants.
It's a pretty sound plan, though.
Yeah.
It's a thin,
It's not bad, yeah.
there's a thin line between witness and accomplice.
Right.
Very true.
Yeah.
So we disavow all knowledge.
Yeah, he's already done this. We're just hearing
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
Exactly.
We here at Trick or Treat Radio do not
We
advocate,
do- yeah.
what Sir Isaac does.
No, we
Or
don't.
his mother.
We don't advocate that. Let's see here. All right, let's do trick or tweet.
Trick or tweet. Wait, I fucked it up.
Yeah,
Wait.
yeah. Get it right.
Trick or tweet.
All right. I can't remember if I said this last week or not. Let me see what's the date here, because okay. So we last episode was on a Tuesday, so I did not do this one. But so our buddy Chris N, who has the Hare Krishna zombie from Dawn of the Dead as his profile picture. He says, the Deadites providing some podcasting cheer on the bus ride to work this blustery morning. So apparently we're providing some podcasting cheer to Chris M last week. So
Yeah, blustery.
Yeah, so cool. Thanks for the tweet to Chris. Thanks for tuning in and listening. We also have 2 tweets from Pantaphobe.
Word to Snurb.
Word to who?
Good improv.
Word to Snurb?
Word to Snurb.
What's
right there.
Snurb?
Yeah, I was trying some new.
There's a pizza waiting for me at home, for the love of God.
Why didn't it get delivered?
Because by the time it finally got here, like wouldn't have been able to talk about Godzilla, or I should have just went home with Monster Zero like I wanted to. But you didn't let me talk about Godzilla first, so now
I didn't even know that was an option.
What do you mean?
You didn't say you could go home with him.
I'm dying.
So Pantaphobe
Pantaphobe says, thanks for the Kickstarter push. Dynamo Mars, Lloyd is only briefly in it, and yes, unfortunately for y'all, I show some skin.
That's not unfortunate.
What's unfortunate about that?
I don't know.
Can you show some skin at the Lucky Dog? That's what I want to know. If you do, Michael Ravenshadow will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael Ravenshadow will be trying to get Rev to show some skin too, I'm sure.
Something's going to happen. It's going to be outrageous. I might get divorced.
And
at least you live in Massachusetts.
It's true. She said also yes to reading /fiction at the show, and Monster Zero's laugh sounds like the cowardly lion crying. That's pretty good, actually. We should keep the show going another hour so Dynamo can't eat his pizza.
I'm
Just
gonna
because he's in a
leave.
diabetic
Doesn't matter to me.
Just because he's in a diabetic coma, no big deal.
The countdown of when I leave and when the show ends don't necessarily have to coincide.
So that's the trick or tweet. We got the voicemail. We got the feedback. Am I missing anything else, Ravenshadow?
I got a gift for Dynamo.
Oh, you do?
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Somebody fucking
Food,
appreciates
right?
me.
No, I know. I'd be gone by now.
Fucking
but
promote everybody's shit.
You want him to drink you
Work-
under the
like
table
work
right
all-
now?
Like work all day and nobody cares.
You know what?
Nobody cares at all.
I care.
Okay, Mr. Solo.
Your gift to him is you're going to see if he can drink you under the table right now?
Yeah, you can buckle up. No, those
keep him out of that diabetic coma for another couple minutes.
It's gonna be like that scene with Meredith
Bernie.
Abner and
Meredith Baxter Bernie.
Meredith Abner, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I haven't heard that name in like 15 years.
Word to Snurb.
You can't improv it again.
No, it was a couple episodes back. We were talking about the free comic book day.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Much like I saved Johnny,
Oh.
got him something that he was seeking out.
Yep.
What couldn't you get on free comic book day?
Oh.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Why don't you open his bag?
It's too bad it's not it.
It's a picture of me from.
There you go. And Rocket Raccoon. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Thanks,
There you go.
sir. Thanks, buddy. I see. Now I'm glad I gave you my last candy bar.
I know.
Thank you. Just make it the fact that I feel like I've peed myself and can't feel my feet. That makes sense.
All right.
It's a long way in the ER. You can read those.
Oh, shit.
I'm so excited. I'm gonna put the amp back in amputation.
Tiny, any last thoughts?
No.
Ravenshadow?
I gotta go.
Remember, children, wherever you go, there you are.
All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to episode 95 of Trick or Treat Radio. Oops. There we go. I'll bring it up slow. We'll see you next week. Gadzuki!